You are listening to a Dynamic Works Productions podcast. This show is available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio Network, and many, many more podcast services around the world. You can find all our content, music, videos, books, podcasts, and more on our website, www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Have questions, comments, or concerns for us? Head on over to the social tab on www.dynamicworksproductions.com if you'd like to talk to us. Now, on with the show.
What's going on, everybody? You thought you got rid of us. You thought wrong. We're back, as we have said that so many times before. It's a broken record at this point. I'm your host, as always, author, podcaster, gamer, Tim K. Trotter. Joining me, fresh from his boat throat. You'll have to talk about that one. The one, the only, the natiest of Foos, Nate Foo.
Why, hello there.
Hello. It's been as Milkshake said, it's been a minute. Not intentional, necessarily.
No,
though.
never is. Yeah.
It was just one of those things where I was dead, or Nate couldn't get away from his kids, or in the past, since the 15th? When did you go?
Well,
How long have you been on that boat?
last week, yeah. I was on for 7 days.
Yeah.
So, and
You're
while
like,
I had
you're like, I'm on a boat.
crispy internet,
Crispy internet?
yeah,
What do you mean?
it was very good. I was surprised how well the
The
service
boat
worked.
internet was. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh. Okay.
provided by Starlink through a company called Voom.
Well, Starlink, works real good if you're not on the original first generation dish, like my mom.
Yeah.
And even then, it still works pretty damn good. So can't.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, Starlink thing, and ain't going away because some other telecommunications company recently got the approval to launch their satellites. I can't remember who it was.
Sure.
It's like
But it's going to be a
T-Mobile or
long
Verizon.
time before they catch up.
Oh my God. Absolutely. Like that one is like, you could argue that, oh, hey, the race has started. I was like, bro, they haven't even entered. They haven't even entered the race course.
Much like his other venture, the EV market. Like,
True.
Now we're actually competing. And it's like, no, dude's got infrastructure
Yeah.
that has, at this point become standards.
Yep. Especially since they opened it up.
Yep.
Yeah. So, this is the Forking Year podcast. As happens, too much life occurs that prevents this show from occurring, which is fine because I actually had a technical snafu on my end. My stalwart, I don't even know how fucking old this thing is. My stalwart Anchor 7-port USB hub just one day decided she would.
I'm done, Cap. Yeah.
Yeah, she had enough. And she no more. It's an original 7-port USB 3.0 hub, up to 5 gigabits.
It's funny when you sent me the picture of the other one. Like, you are asking a lot of that USB hub.
It's not the little 4 one. This is the one that died.
Yeah.
And then if you look in the picture I sent, it's this Centac.
Don't move it.
Don't move it.
Yeah. Don't touch it. It's working.
It's not powering anything important right now.
Yeah.
No.
You're putting it through its paces.
Yeah, it's fine. I've had it actually for 2 weeks. I just haven't had a chance to even put it in. As you can tell by my complete lack of cable management, it's in. It's just not in a. It's not in a good position right now. It's nested, would be a good word for it, but so it goes. I guess without any further ado, let's get into it. We've landed on Wata. Which is entertainment. Oh, sweet. Been doing a lot of that. As have you. I scroll up here.
I've been thoroughly rooted.
True. Okay, cool. Next episode of work. Okay, I guess we got to kick things off with a bit of sad news.
The bad news.
I actually was quite sad about this. I was a big fan of this actor. Julian McMahon has sadly passed away. Huh?
McMahon?
McMahon? McMahon?
McMahon.
McMahon. Anyway, he was the devil in Charmed, and he was the original Doctor Doom in the 2 Fox Fantastic Four films. Passed away at 56. I believe he had cancer. Unfortunate. Also unfortunate that actor did not get bigger roles. He was so fucking good at playing evil.
Right.
Like, he's just one of those actors like, man, you need a villain. That guy doesn't fit in spades. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he was Australian or something.
Oh, that I don't know.
Yeah. And then also super sad for X-Files people or for Supernatural or Smallville people. Famous composer Mark Snow. He also composed Ghost Whisperer and Blue Bloods and X-Files. He dies at 78. And that was, that's unfortunate because anytime you heard introspective, mysterious piano on television, that was this feller. And a lot of people don't know this, but the actual X-Files intro theme is in fact him, actually, even though it's credited as some DJ or whatever, because at one upon a time he was a DJ.
Okay.
And if you ever listen to the actual full X-Files theme, everybody knows the X-Files theme. We don't need to rehash it here. There are lyrics to that thing, and it's definitely not what you expect, but it somehow got turned into a mystery theme, so whatever. That sucks. I also didn't know he was that old, but so it goes. And then Nate saw some things, some good old things.
A recurring theme has been I've just been on this weird little nostalgia kick.
Okay.
And as much as I love all the streaming services, being a man of a certain age, I long for the time of terrestrial TV where you put on a channel and what's on is on.
Really? You long for it?
Yeah.
I don't miss that at all.
I do and I don't. Well, here's the thing: is I don't have to do it, but
true.
With things like the Roku channel and Pluto TV, they just have channels, and I put it on, and I don't have to go. Do I really want to watch this? What do I want to see? Do I want comedy? I just put on a channel, and what's on is what's on.
Has one now too.
Yeah,
they have one for tunes and they have one for movies. I'm almost positive. Yeah.
And so it harkens back to that old terrestrial experience where you put on channel 2 and whatever was on, that's what you got to watch. So I kind of went on that kick, and there's an 80s channel and a 90s channel on Pluto
Okay.
And so I was greeted with some of my classics of growing up. Ended up watching both Crocodile Dundees 1 and 2.
I've seen one of those. I don't remember which one.
Yeah, if you've
I'm
seen one, you've
inclined
seen
to
them
think
both.
it's 2, just because the poster looks more familiar.
Sure.
But I guess they both take place in New York, so it doesn't matter.
They both take place in New York and in Australia. So it just depends on if it was New York first and then Australia, it was 2. If it was Australia first, then New York second, it was 1.
I couldn't tell you. It's been so long.
Sure. But yeah, so I went on that kick and then followed it up with RoboCop 3 of all the franchise, the non-RoboCop RoboCop.
And the one RoboCop I didn't see.
Right. It is the disappearance of Peter Weller.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a different guy, right?
Yeah.
What's even the plot of RoboCop 3? I don't even know. Like, what's the back of the box quote?
Chaos, corruption, and civil war.
No, that's the fucking movie poster that's in the Discord. What's the back of the box quote, you fucking turd?
I don't know what the back of the box synopsis of it would be, and if you ask me,
you don't remember what it is either?
I don't recall what the main, other than RoboCop is not blue again, he's silver again.
Mm-hmm.
There's no nuke.
There's a cop, and there's Robo, right. And I assume there's murder.
The other Robo in this one, instead of being an Ed 209 or a drug lord's brain put into a robot body, is a cyber ninja.
Ooh.
Because OCP is being bought by a Japanese company.
Classic.
Right.
Classic. Okay. Fair enough. And then you followed that up with
Days of Thunder.
As terrible as all of these are, one of the few Tom Cruise films I have not seen. I've seen snippets of, in actually exactly what you're talking about, the terrestrial way of like, oh, there's some sort of racing. Oh, that looks like a really fucking young Tom Cruise. When the fuck was this movie? What else is on? Click.
Right. A young Tom Cruise, a young Michael Rooker.
Oh, Michael Rooker's in it. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it's a really good movie, and it still holds up.
He's the foil that turns into be the frenemy, and then the other foil becomes Carrie Elwes, Yules, whatever you want to say, Princess Bride fame.
Oh yeah.
Or Men in Tights fame.
Or more recently, Knuckles.
Sure.
He was in the Knuckles TV series. And he was sure a foil, all right, in that one. It's a very British foil, I might add. British foil and bowling champion. That was what he was. Okay. That's what he was playing in Knuckles. Absolutely absurd.
If you rolled a bunch of the dice and those were the names that came up, I guess go for it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Cool.
And then, as I postulated in the channel, can you tell me the link between RoboCop 3 and Crocodile Dundee 2? And it's like, you would think there is none. And that answer is Stephen Root. And as I was watching...
Stephen Root,
whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone, okay. Milton, right?
True. Or, blah, blah, blah. I should be remembering this because we're going to talk about it because of the King of the Hill revival. Yeah. He's like 17 different characters in King of the Hill. He was Hank's boss at Propane, the Strickland guy. He was Bill. There we go. That's who I was looking for. He's Bill. He's every other anecdotal character. And he's been in 1,000 things and voice and 1,000 things.
That was what was funny because I watched these two movies and I watched I was watching my regular TNG, which again in terrestrial mode, it's just whatever episode they put on.
I mean, and for me, that's how TNG was for me.
Right.
It was like a Wednesday slot or some shit.
Yeah, it was like, oh, look, Stephen Root. Oh, look, Stephen Root. Oh, look, Stephen Root. I'm going, what the hell? Why am I getting rooted so badly?
You know,
And then I looked up his IMDb and I'm like, oh, that's why, because he does everything. He does
Yeah.
not turn down a role, it seems.
No, I was thinking about him recently because another character actor who just doesn't seem to turn down roles either, who's in everything as well. Oh God, I can't think of his name. I'm having a really bad name. It's early. We're recording like 2 hours early from our normal time on a Saturday.
Well, we're recording 1 hour early from our normal time. Unfortunately, our normal time has been pushed back to 10 o'clock because of technical issues.
Yeah. Fucking the guy
what's he been in? What shows?
The biggest thing that everybody meme culture would recognize him from is the original Jurassic Park. He's the one who gets eaten by the dino while running in the rain, and he's got the can of the Barbasol.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking
from Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, Third Rock from the Sun, every fucking sitcom in the 90s. He also played a voice in the Looney Tunes movie that I'll talk about here. And I'm just like, really? This guy? This guy's in everything. You know, but I was like, man, him and Stephen Root could just do a show like with all their characters, like just do a two-man stage show, and it would be fantastic. God, I can't think of his name. And whatever. But yeah, so King of the Hill season 14 is there's a longer trailer now instead of a teaser. We have some jokes in there. Bobby's a chef at a Japanese restaurant. Apparently, Hank Hill sold his home and repurchased it, and given Uber people 4-star reviews so that they can strive for the 5th star.
It's got some real boomer humor energy into it.
Oh God, I love it so much.
Like in all the best and worst ways. Like I'm watching that, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I love it.
But it's funny.
I can't wait. I hope it's good. We also get our first, and wise of them to include a clip of this. We get our first voice clip of actor Toby Huss, who also is one of the other characters or actors in King of the Hill, who voices half a dozen characters, but he is replacing
Redcorn?
No. So Redcorn thing happened after this season was shot.
Gotcha.
No pun intended. No pun intended on that one. The guy who plays Dale Gribble. Yeah. So even though and still is the case, the first 4 episodes we get the original actor, and then he suddenly passed away, and then he is replaced by Toby Huss, who played Khan, Super Nuisanphone, and also Hank's dad in the original series. And he does a respectable Dale Gribble. It's obviously a different tenor, but the cadence, the inflection is there. And I'm glad that it's an actor from the show and not like a Rick and Morty situation where it's like, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I know it's 8:30 and I'm supposed to be getting up now to do a podcast. I get it. I get it. Fucking Christ. Sorry about that, folks. But yeah, I'm glad to see that it's a within the cast actor.
Sure.
I think that feels respectable in a way. So that's coming out. When the fuck is that coming out? It's coming out August something.
So real shortly.
It's soonish. I have to click on the thing because, of course, I'm prepared as always. It's coming out. Why does it not say in the bio? I have to fucking scroll through the goddamn fucking August 4th. Real soon.
Real soon. Okay.
Real soon on Hulu and Disney Plus. So yeah, that's cool. I'm excited about that. I hope it's good. So Murderbot that me and Nate have been loving on for many podcasts now, is thankfully getting a season 2, as it apparently did quite well on Apple TV Plus.
Yep.
And the writers are keenly aware that the fans want a 45 to an hour long show, and these 30-minute episodes are not what we want as fans, and we want more of the show. And they have...
Oh, is that what you shared with me? Because, yeah, you sent me down a Reddit rabbit hole, and I'm like, why did you send me here?
Yeah, because there was a link to an interview with the showrunner. And then they were like, yeah, we actually are aware of the fact that the most common complaint is the show is not long enough in its current
Right, that was my
format.
first complaint when you brought up that that it was getting renewed. I'm like, can we just scooch them out a touch?
Yeah. And
not an hour.
Yeah. So we're getting a season 2 of that. That'll be cool.
Sweet.
That's good.
I've already heard some misgivings that, like, if it follows the books, some people are going to hate it, and if it doesn't follow the books, the other people are going to hate it. And
Weird.
from the
My wife read all the
series
books.
finale, it looks like they're following the books.
Yeah, my wife said they're following the books, and then also in that interview, they said they intend to follow the books, though they said specifically for season 2, and specifically to address the length of the show, that they might do 2 books in one season.
Right. And to appease the fan base, they are going to be doing callbacks to the original season 1 cast, which is apparently going to be completely flipped on its head for season 2, as would be done in the books.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Speaking of other things getting resurrected, Dexter Resurrection had its 2-episode premiere last week. I, of course, watched it with bells on, being a hardcore Dexter fan. It's off to a really good start and a really good pace.
As someone that didn't watch the original Dexter, would I still find it enjoyable if I were to come in now? Because the trailers and everything, all the media behind it makes it looks really intriguing, and not even just the dinklage of it.
Yeah, and that's not even shown up yet in the show. So they're obviously building to that. We've seen Uma Thurman now, and she is a very mysterious character. And we've seen a lot of cameos from original Dexter series cast. I think you could enjoy it, but
because I understand the whole premise behind who Dexter is.
You would miss if I didn't know that at all. Of context, though.
Okay.
Because the thing about Dexter now that we have 4 shows is there's the original series, 8 seasons, and we tend to not talk about the 8th season. Then there was the sequel series, Dexter New Blood, which was awesome right up until the last 20 minutes of it, and they kind of biffed that hard. And then we had the prequel show, which also starts off immediately after the end of the shocking ending of Dexter New Blood, and kind of retcons that a little bit within the first 5 minutes before becoming like a prequel show, which is a very interesting choice. And then we have Dexter Resurrection, which is the true sequel show to New Blood. And so, like, all the stuff in New Blood, like, it happened. Like, it's not like retconned out of existence. It's not like it didn't not happen. So they address that stuff very well in the first episode, and then move the fuck along. And while it could be considered a little convenient that within an episode Dexter's moved to New York and has set up a whole new life, I'm just gonna go with it because I also don't care and want the story to just get the fuck moving along.
Sure.
And let's get back into a new setting, because one of the things from the outset is they've said that this is not unlike New Blood, this is not a limited time series. They intend to run this for at least 3 or 4 seasons.
Okay.
And it feels like that because there's like a lot of new building blocks and a lot of new stuff, while also feeling the most like the original series the show has felt in ages.
And
but
the trailer is giving off like Monster of the Week vibes.
Yeah, it's not that in the show. The trailer, I mean, we haven't even, I mean, though you can see the trailer on the internet. Peter Dinklage is apparently collecting a cavalcade of different serial killers for some reason. And anybody who knows Dexter's whole thing is he's a serial killer who kills other serial killers. So I can only imagine it's not going to end well for any of those other serial killers, because that's kind of his whole shtick.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like I said, I'm 2 episodes in. I know there was a new episode last night, but I was not able to watch it due to feeling like I almost was going to throw up, and Jessica had book club and all sorts of other shit. But yeah, so far, Dexter Resurrection is hitting all the points. I'm feeling really good about it. The acting's on point. The writing's on point. The music is better. The new plot wrinkles are nice and wrinkly. So yeah, so far, so good. Very pleased. Very pleased. Randomly, because I didn't even know that it was out on streaming or had a limited theatrical run, but I watched The Day the Earth Blew Up, which is a full-featured, original animated, hand-animated, I might add, Looney Tunes movie starring Daffy Duck.
Hand-animated?
Hand-animated. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, does it look hand-animated. I mean, I'm not going to lie and tell you that there's not some CGI stuff like cars and a couple of doors and like background shit. But like, ooh, the animation is very good and very classic.
Nice.
Also, did not expect such a fucked up movie at all. Like, I had heard about this from an interview with the current voice actor for the Looney Tunes cast. It's like Eric Bauza, yeah. And he had talked, because this was one of the Warner Brothers movies that got shelved and then wasn't going to come out. And then entertainment conglomerate called Ketchup purchased this and the forthcoming Wile E. Coyote versus Acme live action / animated hybrid movie that's coming out next year. Finally.
Okay.
So this very oddly is on HBO Max to stream, but not under the Warner Brothers logo. That's
Okay.
I can't even. It is what it is at this point. Fucking
the shell game that is days. Warner Properties, yeah.
These days. But I found myself laughing fucking out loud. Honestly, like I haven't done since the original fucking Looney Tunes.
Right.
You know, and sure, those cartoons were before my time, but you know, I grew up with Toonami, and my grandma and grandpa had Cartoon Network as a kid, and one of the things that was on there all the time, you know, was the classic Looney Tunes, and I saw them all, man. I loved them, and this is so that, but also modern in a way that is like, wow, that's kind of edgy. They fucking went there, huh?
I kind of Animaniacs style.
Yeah, like I know now why Porky Pig stutters, and it's fucking hilarious. I also never ever need to see Daffy Duck twerking for a TikTok ever again, because that's fucking horrific. And I think it's animated to be so. Like, holy crap. But yeah, no, so the whole premise of the movie is they can't pass their homeowners association inspection. And so they're going to be evicted from their home because, of course, an alien meteorite crashed through the roof of their house and aliens are plotting to take over the planet. and
Okay.
they've got to stop that so they can pass their homeowner inspection. And I'm just like, it's kind of relatable. So yeah, I can't say enough good things. The music's fantastic. The cast is fantastic. Like I said, oh, there it is. Wayne Knight. There we go. Is the actor I was thinking of earlier with the Barbara Saul and the Stephen Root, and been in all of the 90s stuff.
Wayne Knight?
Yes. That's the guy. He used to be a big guy, like a big round guy. Curly hair, glasses.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he plays the mayor in this movie. But yeah, it's a good time, honestly. And just like, wow, this just feels like them brought into the 21st century in a way that I haven't really seen with previous attempts at bringing them into the modern era. So yeah, it's a good thing. It's technically rated PG. So you could watch it with your kiddos. I'm sure they would get a gag out of it, and you'd be like, "Holy shit!" They said what, and they did what?
Right.
Tongue twister? like there's.
But again, they did that in the original as well. So
true, and I applaud them for them being allowed to go there. Or I guess in the case that since Warner Brothers originally shelved this, maybe they weren't allowed to go there, and they're like, "No, it's gonna be too. We're gonna have moms yelling at us for." The way Daffy Duck almost says the F word like 80 times in like a minute, and Porky Pig's like trying to shut him up. I mean, he does it, but it's like, oh God, that's good. That's like just good vaudeville humor. Like, it's really good. I if you're into that kind of stuff, I would say give it a go. Very good. And then there's James Gunn's Superman. I couldn't help myself, and I couldn't resist, and I went and saw it opening weekend, even though I have been the most critical motherfucker of this film, this take, the trailers, the whole 9 yards. I'm just like, I'm just not fucking feeling this. Mm-hmm. And then as previews were creeping in on Thursday, and people were saying, yeah, it's really fucking good. And I'm like, God, could it be good? God, and I was just like, I'm just going to go, while it's still like, I don't have like the internet bludgeoning me with like opinion. Like, let me go and form my own opinion. And I got to say, man, I got to eat my shoe on this one. It's a really good film. It's a really good film. Because even though I saw it last weekend, a week ago or whatever, I forgot to fucking turn off my fucking refrigerator, of course, everything. Let me turn off this fridge. There we go. Fridge is off. It's not perfect. I'll start off by saying that. There are a bunch of things that I don't like. There are some things that my wife didn't like at all that I was fine with. But overall, I think it is a really good film. And perhaps most importantly, it's a very good Superman film.
Okay.
And I'm just wrong. Like the thing about it for me that I get so the trailers for me don't work. I've said this repeatedly.
Right.
The scenes that they've shown also don't work. And just the tiniest 5-second of spoiler, the whole scene that is out there on the internet with him crashing into the ground, which is also in the trailer, and then Crypto and like Take Me Home, like that is the literal opening shot of the movie.
Right.
So for me, I was like, good. Let's get this scene that I already don't like out of the fucking way and move on with the story. And so I was pleased with that. I was also pleased with, like, it's definitely James Gunny in terms of like humor and stuff, but I was also pleased to see that it's more reserved than perhaps he normally would be.
Sure.
So that it does feel like a Superman film, and like Superman himself doesn't really feel out of character at all. I'd say the thing about his particular version of Superman is he's simultaneously both a little more empathetic and a little bit more angry is the right word, a little more quick to be riled up in comparison to literally all the other Supermans that I've grown up with that are like very stoic and stuff. Right. Like he's stoic to a point, and then he's like, you know, for lack of a better term, he's like, oh, come on, this is like bullshit. Like, what are we doing here, or whatever, you know, right. Like, and so I think that's, I guess, a little bit more of a ironic. It's a little bit more of a human take on Superman.
Sure.
And the trailers thankfully don't give the movie away, which is great. You know, I've seen all the trailers leading up to this, and it's like you could intuit a lot, but like, and this is to its negative. The film is like a 4-hour film condensed into 2 hours. There is so much fucking shit that happens in this film. You're just like, holy Jesus, by the time you get to the credits. Like, that was a lot. that was a lot, because a fear of mine going into this was that the film was going to try to do too much. And it 100% does, but I don't think it fails at it. Like, I think that's the other thing that's kind of a little bit of a surprise. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of shit going on here. Like, we have Superman, we have Lex Luthor, we have the setting up of the new DC universe moving forward. We have not the Justice League, we have the Justice Gang in this film. We have other metahumans. We have kaijus. We have fucking Crypto Dog. There's a lot of stuff that happens in this film. So if you have like an ADD personality, like, or some shit, like, there's the pace of this film is faster than a speeding bullet. I tell you.
Sure. And one of the other critiques, I wouldn't even say it's a critique, with that whole Justice Gang thing that I've heard, because I haven't seen it. I've heard that if they don't do anything with it, it's not one of those where it's like, here's a character and now we have to do something. It's just a character. They can do something with it. They don't have to do something with it.
Well, so two things on that. They will do something with that, because they're doing something with that. Because even though there's trailers for Peacemaker season 2, which will somehow be in this DC universe of Superman, there's actually a secret trailer for Peacemaker 2 that airs before this film. And the Justice Gang will definitely be back in that series that comes out in like a couple of months. So some of these characters' threads will be picked up in that show, which is interesting. Because we're going to get Superman, then we're going to get Peacemaker season 2 in a couple months. And then next year we will get Supergirl as well, where she'll fight Jason Momoa as Lobo, which is good character casting choice, even if Jason Momoa is showing up in every fucking thing under the sun these days, which I don't think is a problem. I like Jason Momoa. So, but you know, I haven't seen the Minecraft movie, so I don't know what horrors that film has.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Is it? I saw it. It's on HBO Max now. I've got it in the queue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did your kids love it though?
Watch it. Sure.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. So a critique that only I and people like me heard about the Superman film was that the music sucks, like the score for the film. And I'd heard that, and people were like, well, they just fucking hammer the fucking a John Williams theme over and over again, and then they have generic fucking movie music over it and stuff. And having seen the film, and I've listened to the soundtrack actually all week, I hard disagree. I think they did really an impossible task, considering the previous movie iteration of Superman. His music is done by Hans Zimmer, and it's really fucking hard to get past a master, let alone one who gave us a brand new original Superman theme. And I think the composer duo of this film walked an incredibly fine line between, yes, John Williams' Superman theme is the Superman theme, but there's also times where it sounds kind of like Hans Zimmer's more guitar-focused Superman theme. Also, there's a new theme for Lex Luthor that I think is fantastic. And overall, I think the composers did an amazing job. And considering that's an area that I pay particular attention to and actually care to listen to more than whatever is in the background of the film, I think they did a really good job. But my one critique of this soundtrack, and I didn't hear it in the theater, but listening to the soundtrack, I definitely hear it. There's at least half of the tracks that are overproduced and have fake sounding orchestra in them.
Okay.
Which I didn't hear it in the film, so it didn't leap out to me. So how it was mixed in the film, you know, but listening to the soundtrack in isolation, it's like, okay, cool, awesome orchestrals, cool choir here. Oh, whoever's playing that guitar is wonderful. And then synth horn over the top of it. And I'm like, ugh, why? And not even like a good synth horn either, like the one that comes in GarageBand.
Right. One that came off your Casio keyboard from the 80s.
Well, maybe not that bad, but I do hear it. So I'd say that definitely brings the score a little bit down. And from what I could understand on this film, it's possible this was a scenario where primary composer John Murphy's work was completed, and then a secondary composer, David Fleming, was brought in, and they're both credited as the soundtrack. And there's some like much like how like you bring in an additional writer to punch up a script. It's possible David Fleming was punching up or maybe creating entirely new music that worked better with a scene. But it was like we don't have time to record an orchestra. We need to get this done now. So to the DAWs to get the shit done. But otherwise, I really like it. And it's not talked about enough. I think it's being talked about a little more now that the movie's out. But the message of Superman, quite literally, is that kindness is punk rock. And it's a very fucking cool message when you see the entirety of the film. The stuff, like one other thing that's awesome about the film that I particularly like, the Lex Luthor by Nicholas Hoult, is probably the closest I've seen to the 90s animated series Lex Luthor, in that he's super genius, super fucking evil, and is like he's a way bigger threat to Superman than previous movie Lex Luthor's has been. But I like that. I like that he's like, oh, we're doing this, and I'm doing this to distract Superman while I'm really doing this. And then I've also got these 16 other plans happening as well. And I'm like, yeah, that's more like the Lex that I'm familiar with from the comics and the animated series. Right. So that's, it works. And both me and my wife were joking about this because it's well documented that Nicholas Hoult who's primarily known in comic book worlds for playing the younger version of Hank McCoy, Beast, in the X-Men films. But it's well documented that he auditioned for Matt Reeves' Batman, lost it, and he auditioned for Superman for this film and also lost it. And there's a kind of insane maniacal energy when he's pissed off about Superman that it's like, man, did he just channel his audition frustration at not getting these roles and turn it into like a fantastic supervillain performance? Because I think it's fucking 100% true. Like,
that should have been my role.
Yeah, it's like it's good. It's good. He's a very good foil, larger than life Lex Luthor. Very different energy than Kevin Spacey or I'm blanking in the original movies. The one that Kevin Spacey was emulating because that was a continuation of the those ones. Different energy than Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville. But,
sure. That's
and obviously very different than Jesse Eisenberg's insane billionaire take on on Lex, even though this is 100% an insane billionaire version. But very good in that aspect.
Less Zuckerberg.
Yeah, and
than
I think
Eisenberg.
Yes, more dictator Musk with like some arrogant like CEO energy. And then
Gene Hackman. Who's who you're thinking of?
Thank you, Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
David Cornsweet's portrayal of Superman is interesting because, and as I've said, all the clips, all the trailers don't really do any justice to show you his acting chops for Superman. Like, there's very little scenes with him, and he does a very good job as Superman. And as much as I am loath to admit it, I mean, he's definitely not as just godlike Olympian shredded as Henry Cavill. But I think he's definitely displaying some acting chops and some of that, like, he really thought about the scene and his line delivery. My understanding is he's a Juilliard man, so I'm sure he was doing all that anyway. But it's definitely a different portrayal than we've seen in the last decade plus on screen, even over the Superman and Lois TV show that just wrapped up with its final season, I think last summer, of God, why can't I think of his name? I should be able to think of his name. I'm doing bad at names today. He currently plays Sephiroth in the Final Fantasy VII remake trilogy of video games. Oh God, why can't I think of his name? Tyler Hoechlin, thank you. Who many people considered that particular live action version of Superman is really fucking good. David does something different here, and it does work in the context of this new Superman. It's good stuff. So that being said, criticisms, I could have done with about 80% less crypto in this movie. If you don't like crypto or dogs, this is not a movie for you.
Gotcha.
Crypto is a monumentally huge, important part of the story, and he's in it throughout the film. And both me and my wife agree on this. That is basically used for one joke that is then repeated throughout the entire fucking course of the film. And so if you'd cut back 80% on that, I believe the film would be better for it.
Okay. Yeah. Crypto was the toy they had to break out and play with, and
yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it is central to the plot, so
sure.
We'll see. Me and my wife disagree on this point. I did not mind seeing, as they're called in the film, the Justice Gang show up and have a decent amount of screen time. I had reservations about it because I was like, ooh, do we need fucking brand new Justice League in the first fucking Superman movie that we're setting up for this stuff? But I thought it was fine. My wife hardcore disagrees, and she's like, I liked them. I didn't need them in the film. She's like, I would have taken their screen time and I would have given me more scenes with Superman. And I was like, okay, interesting take on. But yeah, the Justice Gang, as they're called, is interesting take. They're a rich billionaires sponsored superhero team at this point. Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, who's a Green Lantern. I mean, I love Nathan Fillion. I'm very biased towards Nathan Fillion.
Sure.
And anybody who knows Guy Gardner is a dick in the comics. And he is 100% the biggest dick on screen.
Sure.
Isabella Merced's Hawk Girl, who's most recently seen in, unfortunately, HBO's The Last of Us Season 2, carrying all the scenes that she acts in against Bella Ramsey. She's playing Hawk Girl in this one, and she's a feisty little firecracker in this one. And we've got the first live action version of Mr. Terrific, and he's unironically terrific. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah,
The
Metamorpho is in this film as well, who has a larger role than I could have expected, and I actually forgot which actor was playing him.
Anthony Carrigan.
Yes, well known because he looks like a fucking ghost because he has alopecia. Good actor. I had forgotten that he was playing Metamorpho because he's like full prosthetics, like head to toe.
Gotcha.
Didn't even know it was him, quite frankly, until I was watching interviews with the cast, and I was like, what the fuck is he doing next to David and everybody else on these interview carpets? And then I was like, oh yeah, he was in so much latex. I got you. We couldn't even see. I got you. So yeah, I think the biggest thing too about the Superman film, to just wrap it up, is I absolutely was hating on it before I saw the film. I saw the film, and honestly, I still think about it, and it still leaves a good impression in my mind. And I think that's very high praise for the film. So it's very good. I am definitely excited about the DCU universe. Yeah, that's what I got to say on that. And then I guess because we can't stop talking about Warner Brothers shit today, first photo of HBO's new Harry Potter actor in costume, as filming has officially begun on the series.
Yay.
Godspeed with that project. Hope it doesn't suck. Good luck to all the actors. I'm curious about the race swapped Severus Snape. Just because, everybody knows that character is so important. And supposedly this actor, who I've not seen in anything, is like a really fucking good actor. So I'm very curious to see. I'm just curious to see how it's done. Because obviously the costume look, like we see the new kid actors, Harry Potter, and like the costumes are already like really fucking similar to the movie. And I'm like, okay, so we're keeping that design language that was established in those films that's now been the design language for that franchise. I was like, I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. I do think it's going to hurt the show when it comes to comparing scenes to the book or how it was done in the movie and stuff.
Sure.
And we're inevitably going to get like a comparison YouTube channel of like, all right, here's this week's episode, and here's how it compared to scenes that were the same scenes in the movie. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see what's going to make this interesting beyond the fact that they'll have more time to adapt a book,
Right.
And then obviously we're going to have to get used to new kid actors, and like
Sure.
hope they
Big shoes to fill there too.
Yeah, and then obviously that's perhaps the most important key to the whole thing, because like I would argue, had they not cast Daniel Radcliffe and those original actors as the original trio in the original films wouldn't have made it to, wrapping up the book series.
Yeah.
Because they had amazing supporting cast. There's no doubt about that. But like, if, they're the leads. Like if they hadn't had the chops, and I don't even know how you cast. Like, how do you cast like 12-year-olds that you are going to somehow make sure they become good actors? Like how does that even happen? Like
a little bit of luck.
A little bit of luck and a lot of fucking Hollywood management. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So, did you catch up on Strange New Worlds?
I did.
Okay,
lay
it on me.
I'm loving the as they've done in the previous 2 seasons. You get like a serious episode, and then you get a wacky episode.
So, on that note, I gotta be real, and I'm a big Star Trek guy, because it's been like a year and a half, I think, since season 2, maybe longer. Me and a wife had actually had a bad day. And we were like, oh, yeah, let's cozy up to a nice, warm and fuzzy and fun sci-fi trip of Star Trek. And then and then now the conclusion of the Gorn thing. And we're like, oh, we totally forgot. Everything went to shit. And this is going to be a dark episode. And it was very dark, actually. Yeah. And we were like, oh, no, that's depressing. And like, it was a good episode. But we were like, we were not ready for that. Like when we hit play.
Here's the funny thing. Like I fired it up and I'm like, previously on, and I'm going, I don't remember any of this.
Me too. I'm glad I'm not the only one. And I'm just like, I'm looking at my wife and I'm like, do you? She's like, I remember lizard men, but I don't remember any of this shit. Like I was like,
so I had to go back and watch.
It's kind of coming back to me. They picked up Scotty. Yeah. Like this is a thing.
I had to go back and watch
Horn Hegemony.
Hegemony. Yeah.
Hegemony.
Yeah, part 1.
Yeah, I didn't, but it was fine.
Yeah, I had to. I got about 10 minutes and I'm like, I'm so lost now. I need to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did I miss something? Because even watching part 1, I'm going, did I miss something else? And I went back one more and I'm like, oh, right, this is the singing one.
Yeah. So on that episode 2, how quickly did you think it was Q when he snapped? And what did you think of them rolling amorphous space entity into also being a Q from the original series? Which kind of makes sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah. Like what else has that power in the Star Trek universe?
Sure, unless they introduce something new.
True. Which they didn't, even though the title of the show is Strange New Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought it was fun. It sounds stupid, but I really liked the like wedding stage with like the glass and it's like floating in the fucking tropical resort area of the Starfleet headquarters or whatever the fuck it was. Like I really liked the set, and I was like,
so did I. And for a second, I'm going, no, they didn't have holodecks back then.
Exactly. Yeah, good stuff.
But yeah, a total wackadoo episode, and totally at the end, I'm like, are these Q?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I heard the voice, I was like, instantly, I was like, that's John fucking Delancey. I've met him.
Was it actually?
He sounds. Yes, it was. Look at the credits.
Okay.
It was John Delancey.
Okay.
In the credits, it's Father Q, and then the other guy was Son of Q.
Nice.
And I'm like, yeah, that's true. Good stuff. I thought it was interesting though, because like when he showed up and it was John Delancey, and he's the amorphous thing from that one episode that everybody remembers from the original series. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, are we saying? We're saying that those are Q, or some version of Q. And I was like, I guess we're really saying that. And then when I looked at the credits and it said it, and I was like, okay, confirmed. And I don't feel bad about that, although I know some fucking Star Trek people are like, meh, because whatever. I'm like, bro, come on. Also, just Q's more popular than things. Amorphous blob fucking space thing. Like, get out of there.
Just shut up and enjoy things, please.
Yeah. Well, speaking of stuff, have you heard about all the controversies with Strange New Worlds and Star Trek in general?
No.
Okay. Well, you're not going to like them, maybe.
Okay.
So Starfleet Academy is allegedly still coming, but there's also rumors of Starfleet Academy and the final season of Strange New Worlds being shelved as a tax write-off for the forthcoming merger between Skydance and Paramount. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And that the quote-unquote Star Trek division of Paramount will be shut down. These are rumors, but they've been flying around persistently for about 6 months, so who fucking knows?
Sure.
Secondly, a lot of people feel different ways about this. I feel a different way about this. So Kiva Goldsman, executive producer of the Star Trek franchise over on Paramount Plus, has stated that if they are fortunate enough to finish season 5 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, they would like to roll into the original Star Trek series with this new cast and redo it.
Okay.
And that has caused controversy online because obviously it's like, you know, we have danced around those 3 seasons of the original Star Trek, Woody's business. On the one hand, you know, I could see it being a good move for people who maybe didn't watch that series, being able to like watch that series in a new modern way.
Sure.
I am on the other side of the fence. I don't think that that's a good idea. And I think it for 2 reasons.
Well, it's shitting on your childhood.
So hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
I agree that it seems silly to remake the original 3 seasons with a new cast because we've already fucking done that in 3 J.J. Abrams movies.
Yeah.
And we basically already did it with a couple seasons of Discovery. And we've done the early parts of this with this show. I was like, I don't need... This is coming from a Star Trek fan standpoint. I was like, I don't need more Kirk timeline. I like it, like a lot of people, but for fuck's sake, can we have something new, please? Can we go with a new crew? Can we go? Fucking hell, I'd take a fucking next gen reboot at this point. Like, can we do something at least like more with this amazing franchise that's Star Trek, you know? And I'm just like, I don't need more Kirk. I've had 37 years of Kirk timeline. Thank you very much. You know, it's the same.
That is the point, though. You've had 37 years of Kirk.
True.
This newer generation looking up from Discovery forward.
You're right.
Haven't. Right. And if they go back and watch the original 3 seasons, it's garbage.
I don't agree that they're garbage.
No, I'm saying to today's, what your expectations for today's TV shows are. You go back and watch that and you're like, what in the
have you watched
Brady Bunch
have you watched
lighting?
Have you watched any of the remasters?
Yeah.
Because they've doctored everything up with CGI to high hell. And I think it's definitely better.
Like I dislike that more than, you know, it is what it is.
George Lucas limited edition them.
Sure.
Yeah. But I have the same problem with Star Wars, frankly. Like, you know, I actually posted just the other day on a Reddit. They're like, oh, if you had fucking control of Star Wars for its fucking film future, like, what would you do? I was like, I've never do anything at all with the Skywalker era saga ever again.
Yep.
I do an Old Republic trilogy, and if that did well, then I do one way the fuck in the future where, you know, Skywalker shit is just a fucking legend. And we're all new people, we're all new stuff, doing new things.
Right.
Cause like I'm fucking
Skywalkered out, star-colored out.
I don't need another Death Star. I don't need another Skywalker.
Yeah.
I don't need these things. Like we've done them, and we've done them to death. You know, like Jesus, give us something new. And I guess on that token, speaking of something new, brand new trailer for Tron Ares dropped.
Yep.
Just the other day.
And I watched it, and I don't want to watch any more trailers ever again on this movie because they're starting to get into spoiler territory for me.
Really? I don't think it's spoiler at all. I mean, I think that's like going to be like the opening 5 minutes of the film. It explains what the deal is with Tron Ares, because a lot of people thought like, okay, he's like part of like the bad income grid, and fucking Kevin Flynn's going to turn him rogue or whatever, but he's actually not. He's going to be...
He's a Mickey 13.
Yeah, that's
or
funny.
Mickey 17.
A lot of people have been saying that. They're like, yeah, this is a Mickey 17 situation. I was like, okay, interesting. I think people should probably watch the film before stating that as a verb, but okay.
Sure. I actually did watch Mickey 17.
Okay, good.
On the break off there, so.
Oh, well, why didn't you talk about it?
Because I didn't think
weird,
about it.
Right?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved everything about
out
it.
There. Yeah. Yeah, I am feeling the Tron vibe hardcore, and
Yes.
I love it. I'm on board. That trailer was sick. It's awesome. It gave me just enough to be like, all right, I'm there. Day one IMAX 3D midnight release. Let's go.
You've got your two god figures in Dillinger and Flynn.
Yeah, I suppose so. And Nine Inch Nails soundtrack is fucking kicking ass, and
It's just a banger. Yeah.
They wisely released the track that's in the trailer as pre-release for the album, which also has titles or track listings, so you can infer from them what you will, which is not much, by the way. And I was actually listening to that while you were burning one, and I'm a Nine Inch Nails fan prior to their association now with Tron. But man, oh god, I heard the music, and me and my wife had watched the trailer, and then she went to bed, or like she was in the shower, and then I saw that the song dropped, and I listened to this trailer song. Which has lyrics, Nine Inch Nails lyrics, which is incredible. And I burst into my wife in the shower, and I said, honey, I think I'm going to come. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, they dropped the single. And it's so fucking good. You know? Yeah, it's, I'm super fucking excited for the score. For different reasons.
I'm super excited for everything about the franchise. Like, it has done nothing. Nothing has come out. No news, no whatever, other than the Jared Leto of it all, which I disagree with.
For the last 10 years. He's the executive producer. It was never not going to happen without him. Right. And as some fans are saying, they're like, also, frankly, if he's executive producer, maybe we wouldn't even have this without him. Right. You know, and it's like, well, fair.
Like, if that's your only complaint, then cool. But I'm still on board. But like I said, I'm watching this trailer. I'm going, I'm starting to know too much.
I don't think so.
So
I think if we keep it here,
in my opinion,
I think if we keep it here, and it's Disney, there'll be another trailer before and TV spots.
And I don't want to see them. I'm going to have to avert my eyes every time I see or hear anything about it, because at this point, I know enough. If I know any more, it's just going to ruin it when I go and see it in person, because I'm going to go see it in person.
Yeah. I mean, this is the type of film you want to see on the biggest fucking screen possible, with the biggest sound system possible.
Yep.
100%.
Just like I've seen I saw the last one in full IMAX.
Same, day one. It was a religious experience.
Yep.
I wasn't before, but I am now expecting a religious experience. So
yes.
I'm on board. I will be listening to the shit out of this single, which is really fantastic. Like, it's simultaneously, because I've been listening to it for 2 days now, like on repeat, and even right before this show. I love that there's chiptune in it. I love that there's a little Prodigy in it. And I love that it's 9 Inch Nails as fuck, but there's also like a dash of Daft Punk in it. And I'm just like,
sure.
Trent, you beautiful man. You beautiful, beautiful man, you. I'm digging it. And I honestly, I gotta say, I know they've been hyping it up forever. There's been 9 Inch Nails doing it, you know. And it is Trent and Atticus Ross performing as 9 Inch Nails. And they've been composing for a long time now, actually, on movies and stuff, to great critical acclaim. And their scores are fantastic. Introspective, dark, moody. I gotta say, the one thing I didn't actually expect from 9 Inch Nails on this, I didn't expect lyrics, to be totally honest. That was quite...
Well, I mean, that's the difference between, it being just Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, and it being 9 Inch Nails.
No, because we have Quake. And 9 Inch Nails did the Quake soundtracks, and there ain't no fucking lyrics in that.
Well, there's an occasional scream in there.
Yeah, but that's like... So there's an occasional scream in the Doom soundtracks. It doesn't mean there's lyrics. No. You know, like it's... Yeah, I don't know. I was surprised by it. And then I was also surprised at how much I'm like just totally grooving on the lyrics as well. I'm feeling real good about Tron Ares.
Yes.
And I hope others are too, so that we can get more Tron stuff. Tron Ares. So good. 9 Inch Nails single out on all music platforms. We talked stuff. I think we've been talking about this for an hour and a half now. We should probably move on to other fucking topics. Jesus Christ. Earth.
Life.
Technology.
Tech.
We have a couple of things, mostly because we forgot to fucking cover it last episode. I'll cover them briefly. Apple is dropping the 18 and the 23.5, and they're now going with yearly numbering schemes starting this fall for all of their OSs. Cool. That'll at least eliminate some confusion. So everything will be, this year it will be 26, next year it will be 27, and so on and so forth. They are also introducing a unified UI across Mac, iPad, Vision OS, Watch OS, Apple TV OS, iPhone OS, all the OSs that they make that are really just offshoots of each other anyway. But they are doing a truly unified interface across the entire system. They're calling it Liquid Glass.
Liquid ass.
There is a lot of consternation about this. The thing that I've seen, and I'll reserve judgment until the final product's in my hands, probably end of September, is in pictures, it's what Nate says. It's liquid ass. In video demonstrations, where it's actually like, I've seen beta videos and people scrolling, and they're like, this actually works. This is actually sick. In motion, it's dope. Screenshots do not do it justice, because there is a vectorization, 3Dization that hasn't been seen before in this UI landscape for Apple. Some have compared it to the original iOS 7, and iOS 7 had some parallax and some faux depth effects. And this is decidedly different. This is decidedly like 3D in a way that it hasn't been before. With the impetus behind this, some of this design language came from their UI interface that they developed for the Vision OS. And I've watched some interesting academic studies of UI design. And the thing that they said is actually kind of the stroke of genius here is a unified interface is amazing for everyone from a usability standpoint. They said, two, what it does is it gets everybody else who's not wearing a 3D headset accustomed to an interface that is ultimately 3D.
Right.
And they're like, and then in that way, it's a stroke of genius and could be very successful.
Oh.
And
I mean, they've been needing to do this unified interface for a long time.
Christ, have they? Like, it's so stupid that I have similar but different controls between my phone and my iPad.
Right.
And then on my Mac, different controls still. Like, are you stupid?
Mm-hmm. And quite frankly, the answer is yes, that they have not done this up until now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It has been one of the many bones that I've had to pick with Apple as a ecosystem.
Yeah, agreed. And in an interesting way, one of the things it actually reminds me of, even though it's analogous and totally different, but somewhat similar in some aspects. It reminds me of when Nintendo decided to do the Switch. And it's like, all right, handheld teams, console teams, we're now the same team. We're making the same thing. We're unifying it. This is going to make things simple moving forward. And sure as shit, that was successful as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we'll see. We'll see whether we'll also see whether or not I can resist diving into a beta for this to fuck around with the UI, because I could right this second.
Okay.
Because I did that with 7, and it was cool, but it was also, I mean, it was a beta. It was buggy as fuck, and it was also painful buggy. And I don't know if I can live with that. With how busy my life is these days. I need shit to function. You know, I don't need icons to flick off the screen and then I can't tap them because they're not there. So I think I'll hopefully be able to hang on until full release. And so I wish it well with this UI launch. They're getting a bunch of other new features and stuff. They're gonna have a AI call waiting lobby thing, so when you call into a tech support, you can put them on hold, and then an AI will pick up and then call you back to say that they're ready. I like that because it sounds like revenge against call centers, which I fucking hate. I don't know about you.
I used to work in one.
Yeah, you used to work in one. Yeah, you have a different experience.
Different, yeah.
Would you hate that opinion coming from a call center background?
Nope.
Like being put on hold by an AI for a person?
Nope.
No?
We get paid the same no matter what.
Fair enough. So that's big news there. And this was a quiet piece of news that has huge fucking implications, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Apple's Swift, which is their basic coding language that they've been throwing to schools and academia and stuff for, I don't know, close to a decade now, are now going to, I guess, offer a version of that coding suite where you'll be able to program something in Swift and it will run on Android. And that is a huge... That's a huge
when I saw
piece
that, I'm
of
going,
news.
does that mean
you can code on Mac?
Android apps on iPhone, or now iPhone apps on Android? And from what I'm hearing you say, it means iPhone apps on Android. Yeah.
Yes, but it also means you could... I mean, I guess you could... I don't know. Full stop. I don't pretend to understand the developer environment, but I would assume there are probably workspace applications you can download on Mac to program an Android app on your Mac, I would guess.
Maybe.
I honestly don't know.
I mean, I would no offense. I would love to see a FaceTime app for Android.
Sure.
Please.
Yeah.
Maybe some AirDrop integration of some sort.
Yeah. But I can't think of, because like if you want to make stuff for the Apple ecosystem, you need to buy a Mac and code on a Mac.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually know if it goes the other way around. Like, can you code something on Android on Mac? I have no fucking clue.
Know. Yeah.
But regardless, the fact that they're going to be supporting a programming language and that programming language will run on something that isn't Apple Silicon, that's a big fucking deal. And
right.
People don't pay attention to things like that. But I read those little headlines and I go, hold up. That's a sea shift, my friends. Mm-hmm. That's a big deal. People need to pay attention to things like that, but they don't. I don't know. I feel like I'm one of the only people who catch shit like that. So, all right, that's what we got for tech.
We did have the Samsung event, which was a big nothing burger of nothing burgers. The only thing that came out of that even I was even remotely interested in is the new Fold.
Mm-hmm.
That is supposedly so super thin.
I saw
that it's like a normal phone when it's closed.
Mm-hmm.
And it drops all S Pen support, which that sucks, but in a way it doesn't. I have my S Pen and I hardly ever use it, but when I do need it, it's invaluable.
Sure.
And at $2,000, I don't think I'll be buying one.
Is that up from last year's?
Yeah, by about $700.
Oof.
Yeah.
Does it have so and I didn't post it in the technology thing, but I did watch a 4.5 minute Marcus Brownlee clip from his podcast talking about the event. Because like you also said, he's like, yeah, there's not a lot to talk about. The thinness. He said he hit the exact same points you're hitting now. I mean, did they at least announce like a new Samsung chip, like better battery life? Like, did they do anything like normal like that?
Nope. They announced a new watch with the. No, not that I saw.
That's not good.
Yeah, new watch, new phone.
Of course.
And the watch is like, oh, okay, now we're doing the circled square, the squircle.
The squircle? Like, are you talking about like the Apple Watch thing?
Yeah. So the base of it is like an Apple Watch, but the top of it is like a Samsung watch. So it's a circle on top of a square.
I assume it's called Galaxy Watch.
Mm-hmm. And it's okay. Watch. Apparently, they say because of the new design, 8? It lays. I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at Samsung.com right now. Galaxy Watch 8 with Galaxy Watch AI.
Yeah, that was about the only thing,
Yeah,
was
that shit's weird.
Yeah, and apparently it fits flatter on a wrist now, and so it's better contact for all the sensors and all that stuff, which that's important.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, it's just a real polarizing design choice.
Yeah, it's not like the Apple Watch. It's rounder. Like it is
right.
Square. It is a squircle.
Squircle. Yeah.
Like the display is clearly round like original, but then the body is like round hexagonal almost.
Mm-hmm.
It's very odd.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess design aesthetic wise, it looks different than anything else out there. Like that's a thing.
Right. And it still does a nice round watch, display, which I personally prefer. It looks more like a watch than, the Apple Watch, which looks like a fitness device more than a watch.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I've been wearing it for over a decade now. I guess I see it as a watch.
Sure.
But I also don't think about it that much, until I need to use it either. So
we'll see. I do like the fact that you can do, again, Apple unified design language across all the devices when they're all square. Whereas Samsung does this. Oh, hey, it looks like a watch, but now you can't make apps for it like you can for anything else.
True.
So,
yeah, that's a weird thing. Anything else tech-wise you wanted to go over? I mean, the only thing I could hit on is I have a Sen tank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have a Sen tank 14-port USB hub.
Oh.
60-watt power supply. And then buttons that turn off rows of the USBs now.
So instead of individual ports, you can turn off rows as well?
Kind of is what I'm saying. So there's a button on each row.
Oh, I'm looking at, yeah.
But so like the top two, if you press either button, they kill both those rows. So why not just make it one button? Is my point. And then the very top thing is, I guess, just for charging. Apparently, like those are not data ports.
Sure. Yeah.
And then curiously, they've got a couple of 2.0 ports on the bottom, which is not
3
terrible.
Of them.
3.
Yeah, 2 at the very bottom. Then the next one up is a split, a 3 and 2, according to the picture I'm looking at.
Oh shit! So it is. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. Maybe that's why I had the camera plugged in. I thought it was a 3 and it was really a 2. And that's why I couldn't get the feed on earlier. That makes sense.
And then you have the 3 and the C at the very top, which is also curious. I don't know. I've been seeing, like, for our excursion that we went on, the wife was like, instead of bringing 15 different power bricks and whatnot, I'm going to buy these adapters that have multiple ports on them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, cool. It's got 5 ports on it. And then I look at the user's manual and it's like, well, if you use this port, then you can't use that port because all the power, or it splits the power down to the absolute minimum spec.
See, this is why, with all my travels with helping my mom and stuff, I got the Anker GAN Prime 67 watt everything charger. It's very compact. I mean, it's not super compact because it is like a fuck off power charger. But it's got 2 USB-Cs and 1 USB-A, and they are specifically so you can fast charge a full MacBook, your tablet, and an iPhone with no power loss. Yep. And each one's labeled computer, one's labeled tablet, one's labeled phone, and it does exactly what I fucking want it to do. Yeah.
So basically, take one of those, add a couple extra ports on it, and then play if this and that with it. Yeah, but only if you're doing 2 things in the similar port. It doesn't tell you which one. Like on the brick itself, it doesn't say if you use these 2 ports, it cuts it down to minimum.
Rude.
So I'm doing this weird hopscotch trying to figure out why certain things are charging and some things won't charge because it's the power delivery, and I finally find the right combination. Yeah. So it's like, yes, it's got 5 ports on it, but no, you can't use all 5.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
So dumb. Yep. All right, spinning. I already did Earth. Spinning again. Life, fire.
Life.
Life. Well, you have a lot of cool life to talk about.
Yeah, and it's not throwing lime scooters in the trash this time.
Good.
I just scrolled back up on our live feed. I'm like, oh, yeah, lime scooter.
Well, I'm just going to get mine out of the way first, since none of mine's happy and yours seems joyous and fun and relaxed. So life's definitely a bit of a fire right now. As people may or may not know, I had Daniel working for me in my company. And then July 2nd, on a Tuesday, he quit on me, and we have not reconciled.
Okay.
And it's caused a lot of work problems because now I'm
Sure.
having to handle all the things that I was having him handle and had been handling for months. And so that's makes life difficult as a co-CEO when I also need to be the grunt.
Right.
And then, of course, it's now officially peak season for us. So it's just been 4 and 6 and 7 a.m. days until I fucking drop.
Yep.
And as I'm chugging a Red Bull this morning, I've probably had like 40 Red Bulls this week.
Oof, that's not good on the heart there, Tim.
It's yeah, probably not. But and I'm not sleeping well either. So last night was probably the first time I had 7 hours of sleep. All the other nights are like 4, 5. It's been a rough time. Yeah, been a rough time, been a sad time. I mean, that's pretty much it.
That's a bummer, like having the upside and downside to having friends work with you.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't expect. I didn't expect quitting on a Tuesday.
Right.
Because he had a contract with me until September. And then it was just not a very good. There's a lot of anger from his part in the quitting, and a lot of things that were said that were most upsetting, and like I said, are not at this time resolved between us. Sure. And so my wife and his wife are talking, and me and him are not talking. So that's where that's at.
Yeah. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, I'll live. I'll live, or I guess I won't. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Those are the choices.
We're what was it the Secretary of Health said? We're all going to die eventually.
Is it? Is that something the Secretary of Health said?
I think so.
Okay. I mean, it's not wrong.
Yeah. Just not a response to someone that says, hey, people are getting kicked off Medicare, that are getting kicked off Medicare are going to die. Like, yeah, we're all going to die sometime.
Well,
yeah.
As politically laden as that in, how was your cruise trip?
Right. That was good. It was amazing.
Cool.
We, as a family, with 2 small kids, we don't get a whole lot of opportunity to do a lot of vacationing. When the kids are out of school, it makes it a little easier, but then it's like that is the prime hours for my job. We hit our hot season right about now. So it just makes that difficult. So we don't get to do it often. And when we do, it's not for any, it's like, oh, hey, we're going down to, pick a spot for 2 days. It's a weekend trip. So the family got a wild hair up their butt to try to plan a family trip to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. And with my youngest daughter, she doesn't do well with a whole lot of transitions, so car to plane to taxi, all the stuff, and then cooped up in a box for, or a tube for a 6-hour flight just isn't gonna go well. So I said, why don't we cruise? And they looked into it, and we got a nice little 7-day, 6 nights, 7 days. I wouldn't actually call the 7-day a day because it's
nobody ever calls the travel day to the vacation.
Well, no, because there's stuff to do on the boat. It's literally the 7th day is they dock at 7 a.m. and kick you off the boat by 8 kind of thing. So
Okay.
I wouldn't call that a 7th day.
Sure.
Right. They're like, pack your shit, get off the boat.
Fair.
But yeah, got on the boat, started getting down there, and everything was cool. There's pictures in the Discord of us going up in what they call the North Star. And it's a giant clear ball that goes probably another 100 feet up higher than the top deck of the boat, which is already a couple 100 feet up.
Yeah.
So you get a nice 300-foot view. But yeah, if you look at the picture, there's the nice outdoor pool, the 2 hot tubs right next to it. That is literally mirrored on the inside. On the other side of that, it's covered. So two full pools, 4 hot tubs, and they have the kids' little play area there. There was a whole sports complex in the back where they did roller skating and bumper cars.
Jesus.
And not all at the same time, but it was like there's a multi-purpose.
Oh, it converts.
Yeah, well, it doesn't convert. They just throw people off and throw bumper cars on it. And they're all electric bumper cars, so it's not like you have the grid overhead.
I gotcha.
So yeah, they had tons of stuff to do. And then we get to Cabo, and everyone tenders out on the boat, tenders out and goes to the shore. We went one day and did a glass bottom boat tour,
Nice.
which was a whole hell of a lot of fun. Again, picture in the Discord of
if the glass is clear.
What's that?
If the glass is clear.
If the glass is clear?
Yeah, the glass bottom boat tours.
Oh, yeah, which that was
I've been on more than a few where it's like, well, this is worthless.
Yeah, it's and ours was kind of half of that, like half of it was worthless, but it was, the glass was clear, but it was, 3x2 portal in the center of the boat, and that was it. That was your glass bottom. Unlike some of the other boats that were, the whole boat was damn plexiglass, and that was kind of cool as shit watching. Like to see people just like, it looks like Wonder Woman's invisible jet kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. That's a glass bottom boat. Like,
sure.
Didn't matter where you were sitting, you can look in the water.
Okay.
And we got this little portal, which, whatever, threw tortillas in the water. The fish went wild for it. Kids got to see all the fish, got to see some manta rays, a sea turtle. There's a video there of my oldest just putting her hand in the ocean and having a good old time. And she got to be Little Miss Independent the entire time because, your boat, you have basically your key card, and your key card is your identity there. It's how you get your food, it's how you get your drinks, it's how you get anywhere on the boat.
Okay.
Or off the boat. Like, they will not let you off the boat without scanning this tag. So to that end, it was just like, go run, do whatever you need to do, and you know where to find us. We'd be out there hanging out at the pool, and she's just like, I'm bored, I'm going back to the room, and she'd grab her towel and she'd go. Knew how to work the elevator, knew where the stairs were, knew where her room was, and she just had the greatest time because she wasn't tied to any of us. We wake up in the morning, she goes, I'm going to go hang in the pool. There's lifeguards in the pool. Cool. Didn't have to worry about that. So, good family. Ooh, pardon.
It's all good.
Good family vacation. Wife and I had a pretty good time. Not getting to see each other as much as we wanted to because our youngest was still kind of like, she'd burn out real fast. So it was almost like hot potato with her. And thankfully, because it was my family, me and my wife, my 2 kids, her sister's family, which, Ian and Sarah and their kid, and then Grammy. So we had a 4-to-3 or 5-to-3 adult to kid ratio.
Okay.
So if a kid went sideways, it was literally hot potato. Like,
yeah.
You go watch it for an hour. I'm going to go eat lunch, do whatever, hang out in the pool. I'll be back in 2 hours to relieve you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there was some of that going on.
Sure. I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, didn't get to spend a whole lot of quality alone time with the wife.
Okay.
Like that would be the only downside. But yeah, other than that, like we already booked our next cruise. We're doing the East Coast side next year, so we're going to fly to Florida, leave out I guess Fort Lauderdale, and then cruise down to the Caribbean.
Also gross.
Caribbean.
I said also gross, but okay.
Right.
Yeah, because that's the cruise I've done. I've done the Caribbean cruise.
Yeah.
Yep.
You didn't like it?
14. I don't say that I didn't like it. I'd say I was fucking drunk for most of it.
Oh.
Because we were over international waters and they didn't give a fuck what your age was with fucking Mai Tais. Right. And like...
No, because you kept saying gross. I'm like, what gross about what?
Just Florida.
Okay, yeah.
Just Florida.
Just Florida.
Yeah, just Florida.
Especially this time of year. Like,
oh, God, fuck off.
Right?
Fuck
Sticky.
off. God, we did it in December and it was still fuck off.
Yeah, well, we're actually, I guess it's planned for like next June, so it's going to be a birth anniversary type trip.
Gross.
Yeah.
Too muggy.
June-ish.
Too muggy.
Got to get in there before the hurricanes, yeah.
It'll get better by the time you get towards the actual Caribbean, but while you're still in the Florida area, gross.
Oh, I know. I lived there for a year.
Still gross.
Still gross.
Super gross. Let's see what other.
But yeah, other than that, like I will be up there for PAX this year. My flight has been booked. When is that? So, end of September, end of August.
End of August. Okay. Keep me posted. Maybe we can do something if I'm here. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be working on this one, so I don't know how free my timeline is going to be. So,
okay. We have tentative plans. We decided we're going to go do the Great Wolf Lodge, like you did.
Nice.
Don't know when though.
Are you taking kids with you, or are you just doing it as adults?
Well, hard to say. So originally it was thrown out as just me and Jessica at a little me and wife getaway thing, which sounds lovely. Mm-hmm. But then somebody's birthday or I think it was Father's Day dinner or something, it was mentioned that the family also wants to bring the family to there as well. And then Jessica also mentioned, and maybe that'll occur at the same time. Maybe it won't. I don't know. I could see both being fine. I could also see one or the other being better than the other.
Sure.
Hard to say. I know my in-laws right now, they're at Tokyo Disney. Getting all kinds of interesting pictures. And seems like a really fucking good time, actually. And I guess something that I didn't know that I guess is custom over there is every meal you get some small dessert. And so there's pictures of all their meals and then some Japanese confection, something that they get. They sent me a picture this morning of like, what is it? They've been there a couple of days now. They sent me a picture of like it's like a corn muffin, but has like a picture of a duck imprinted on the side of it with like a wedge of a fucking, I don't know, frosting with a cookie that also has a picture of a duck on it, like on like a little muffin. Okay. And I'm just like, that is so ridiculously over the top. And it's like a little itty bitty muffin, like a little itty bitty muffin. And they're like, yeah, we didn't think it was a thing at first, but so far we've been here for like 3 days and every single meal has a tiny dessert. They're like, and it's kind of awesome. And I was like, that's cool. I didn't actually know that. So they're doing that. My father-in-law, who doesn't do fish, is surviving down there.
Okay.
I was like, how the hell? that is the wrong country to go to if you're not a fish person. Like, what are you doing? He's like, well, I'll live off of Wagyu steak and ramen. It'll be fine.
That's not a bad way to live.
And I'm like, I guess so. But they're also at Tokyo Disney, so he's getting things like hamburgers that are actually made of ham and like other things.
Hamburgers made of ham?
A ham dash burger.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures. I'm like, all right, sure. I think it's a breakfast sandwich at that point, but okay. But no, it looks cool. They're having a good time and sending lots of pictures, and they have a bunch of like I don't know. They sent me this picture of like a fucking Aztec temple that's like huge. That's like part of the park or something over there. And so they have like a bunch of things that are like iconography from around the world, and they've just like built like a large, smaller than it would be in real life, but way bigger than you'd think it'd be for a park thing.
Sure.
So it's like, okay, cool. It's neat. Seems like a good time. A little bit of a bad time of the year to be there because it is like swelteringly hot and humid down there. And they said that it's like Florida, but with a breeze. And I was like, so not good then. So, so let's see, there's that.
How is it you say? Gross.
Yeah, gross. I have new glasses that I'm wearing right now.
I did not notice.
First time I've changed my frames in like fucking 4 years. I went away from the fucking the polycarbonate plastic and went back to metal frames.
Those. They're fancy.
Yeah, I got some fucking... They're allegedly designer, apparently. I don't know.
Well, look at you, all schwanky and...
Listen, dude, it was at Costco Optical, and then they're like, oh, you have such and so much money on your vision plan.
Right.
They're like, you could get a designer lens if you want. And I was like, what the hell is a designer lens? And then they roll out
lens or frames?
A little lens, frames, whatever, the whole 9 yards, I guess.
Oh, okay.
They rolled out their little special case from behind the case in the counter that you don't even see on display. And I was like, oh, fancy. Mm-hmm. And I ultimately settled on the Mont Blancs. And I was like, that sounds... The Mont Blancs.
Okay.
I was like, that sounds like a French wine, if ever I've heard one.
Or a pen.
But yeah, no, they got like, it's like carbon fiber sides and
nice, really lightweight
coated frames. Yeah, really lightweight. I had to ask about the lenses because I work construction, and then I was like, well, I need the polycarbonate lenses for construction. And then she's like, that's fine. They're like, Costco Optical stopped doing glasses, like glasses, like a year and a half ago. And I was like,
this doesn't make sense.
I was like,
yeah. So
what is it now? She's like, everything's polycarbonate. And I was like, oh, well, okay, I need that. So I did that, and then I got hoodwinked in a good way, which I guess typically when you say hoodwinked, it's bad, I suppose. But I guess I got convinced because I typically do sunglasses. And I had like a Costco one that I really liked. They were basically like Costco aviators, like the Kirkland brand aviators. Really good for driving. They decided to change the Costco frames, so I went with a different frame. But I went with a driver transition lens. And it's like yellow, green, red, and then changes based on temperature and UV and stuff. Gotta say, as a person who does an absolute shitload of driving for work, it was an extra $70 outside of my prescription plan, but worth it, 100%. Yes. I was like, ooh, okay, yep, these are actually designed for me. This actually is an improvement, and I actually like driving with them, and they make a difference. And then when I'm in the stupid, long, dark-ass tunnel in Seattle, they change, and I can see in the tunnel, and I don't have to swap my glasses in between those like huge dark spots. And I'm like, okay, Yeah, that was worth it.
It enhances everything. The greens are greener.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I had a
I was
pair
surprised at the improvement.
I had a pair of driving glasses. I ultimately decided not to do them again because I don't do that much driving.
Yeah.
So I took that extra $70 and did the computer screen filter.
Right. Yeah.
And again, same thing. It's like, why haven't I been doing this before? Because it definitely did cut out the tension headaches from sitting in front of the screen for so long.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. See, glasses. I don't think anything else tech-wise.
Nope, we talked about your Switch 2 last time.
Oh, I got my fucking SD card finally for it.
Yeah.
The micro SD
FG, XD,
yeah,
PC.
I know. It's fucking garbage. How many fucking acronyms are on them? It's the extreme one. It's whatever.
Yeah.
It's the one.
Yeah. The one that works.
At least it like, so same size as the micro SD card, but when you look at the chipset on the back, it's like, ooh, that's different. It's double set.
Okay.
So you have like quadruple the amount of contacts on the back. And I was like, that does not look like a micro SD card. Okay, I see why you're different. So finally got that. Still not enough. Still not enough for me. I have too many games. I'm thankful for the Switch 2's 256 internal, but I'm still hot swapping too many things.
Yeah.
Too many things.
I almost filled up my 4 terabyte. That 4 terabyte NVMe I got way not that long ago.
Yeah.
It's almost full again. I'm like, Jesus.
I mean, it's easy with games, especially the PC games. You got the heavy assets on them. But here I'm just trying to load my Switch collection, my Switch collection, which at this point is like 300 fucking games. And I just can't.
Yeah, the upside of it being, is it hot swappable, or do you have to shut it down, change out the card, turn it back on?
I don't know, to be totally honest.
Okay.
You couldn't on Switch 1 with the regular
That's
micro
why
SD.
I was asking. Yeah.
I have no clue on Switch 2. I don't have another card to test it out on, so I don't.
Because I was going to say the upside is you just keep getting multiple cards. You keep
I
them
don't
in the,
do that. I don't.
That's the old DS days, right?
It's so small, and 3DS.
Yeah. Well, you'd have your binder, your CD binder full of.
No, I don't.
But you can.
You want to.
But you can.
And I'm not going to.
Okay.
The second they come out with a fucking 512 one, or preferably a terabyte one, or preferably a 2 terabyte one, and I have the money, I'm getting it because I need it. Because I hate loading things.
You would think that in this day and age, you could plug in a dongle into that port and have it go right out into an NVMe or a solid state drive.
Well, and especially on the Switch 2, because it's not like, it does have ultra high speed file transfer, but it's not as high speed as, say, the Series X, and not as high speed as like the PS5. I will say, because I've bitched about this in the past, switching between the memory card and the internal on the Xbox, very smooth. Switching between the internal faster NVMe and the internal NVMe on the PS5, god awful. I don't know why the transfer speed of that is shit at all. It makes no sense. Switching between the two on Switch 2, very smooth. It also does a thing that the Switch 1 didn't do, and I didn't know this did this till the other day. It will, of its own accord, apparently, split the data between available spaces.
Well, that's dangerous.
I guess. So like I had an update for like No Man's Sky, and I needed to move it because I'm already at max capacity. And this past week, Donkey Kong Bonanza came out. And even though Donkey Kong Bonanza, because Nintendo's cracked, is only 4.5 gigs, it was like, yeah, you need another 2.5 gigs before you can download this. And I was like, fuck, what can I move? And I was like, okay, I'll move No Man's Sky to the SD card. And they're like, you cannot move that. Half of the data is already on the SD card. And I was like, I didn't know you do that. Switch to. I didn't know you switch. I don't know whether it's a base file and then like the patch file is over there or however the fuck it does that. So then I had to delete a couple of other things. And then I had to, and I guess this is the point that it's a little bit upsetting to me, is that I had to move the whole game in order to get all of the games packaged into one, either the internal or the SD, so then I could free up the space that I needed to download the fucking 4.5.
What in the PlayStation nonsense is that?
Yeah, but like I said, the exception in this compared to PlayStation, which sucks, is it was like, oh, you want to move 13 gigs? Blah blah blah. 10 seconds. Cool, we're done.
Right.
You know, like PlayStation 5, it's like, ooh, you want to move stuff on the internal SD? Well, that'll be 10 seconds. You want to move from the internal SD to the internal that you put in with the screw NVMe? That's going to be an hour.
Right.
And I'm like, why? Why?
Because.
Stupid fucking PlayStation. Anyways.
Yeah.
I digress. I guess we're in game talk now. We're moving on to game talk. Obviously, that's what's happening.
That is the last topic.
Been playing some games.
Me too.
Completed a game, actually.
Oh.
What do we got here? Where did I... June 14th? Is that the last fucking show we did?
Yeah, I think so.
Jesus Christ, I guess I'll run through. Asher had an update. They added large batteries, bug fixes, stack platforms, and printer filters. This is all cool stuff. All stuff that should have fucking been in the game years ago. A little bit salty about it. No Man's Sky has had several updates. In fact, they had another one this week, smoothing out their last beacon update. And I've actually been playing some No Man's Sky. I finally had time to... I wish it was easier. Like, it's doable, but only doable because I have multiple consoles. It would not have been doable otherwise. So we have cross-save now across platforms. I've said this before. And, you know, I have a PlayStation save that's like 1,000+ hours, and I have an Xbox save that's like 500+ hours. And then I have a regular Switch 1 save that's like 5 or 10 hours. And they're all not together. And so then I made the difficult decision, and it took a while because it wasn't as simple as like, oh, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to take this, of quote unquote unifying my saves.
Okay.
Because there's not an internal feature to do this. And so I had progressed obviously a lot on the PlayStation version. But I progressed, let's say, more efficiently on the Xbox version. And so I ultimately decided that the Xbox version, or at least the save that started as my Xbox version, would be where I would make my unified stand. And so then that began the complicated scenario of running the Xbox version, which didn't have to be on a specific platform now, while running another console with the PlayStation version and sending myself all of the shit, all of the resources, all of the possible things that I could send myself, including some things that were tricky to transfer. Like there were a couple of ships on my PlayStation version that I was like, there ain't no way I'm letting go of this fucking baby. This is like my god tier ship. And that's not a thing in the game, is like gifting another player a ship. You can send like basically in inventory resources, but you can't do like weapons or ships or anything like that. But there is a way that if you go really fast into a space station and you sell your ship to a dude whose value is lower, so then it's 0 credits, and then your character is there in the same instance on the other console, so it swaps between HDMIs really quickly to run over to that ship before that ship takes off from the AI, from the guy that I just sold it, to buy that ship back, and then I have that ship.
Okay.
So I did that. And I now have a quote unquote unified save. The only thing that's regrettable about that is, I have a lot of bases between both saves. And there's definitely a handful of bases that I wish I could like transfer ownership over to from the PlayStation to my Xbox, or as I'm now calling the unified save. But unfortunately, you can't do that. Best you can do is like you build a base just adjacent to that base, and then depending on how the server gods grace you that day, either that base will load up properly and will be there, or it won't. And you just turn base permissions on that file to hey, anybody can fuck around with this base. So, yeah, a little complicated. I would say it probably took me like 5 hours across 4 days of like, okay, I'm going to do this, and then I got to do this.
That's dedication, though.
And then I got to do this. True. And it would be easier if, and I don't see why they couldn't do it now that they have cross-save of like...
Oh, do a merge of some sort?
I mean, I could understand it being tricky for like the player profile progression, but I don't see why the base transfer couldn't happen, or why ship transfer couldn't happen.
Probably to prevent people from basically selling assets.
I mean, there's dupe glitches in the game that they have not gotten rid of. So like if you really want to, you can dupe things that you shouldn't be able to dupe.
Sure.
So I don't know. But anyway, so I've been doing some No Man's Sky. Though not on Switch 2. The reason being, there's a issue right now that Hello Games is working on, because the timeline for updates for Xbox and PS5 when they submit it is like 3 days. And then the timeline on Switch is like 7 days. And so even though the saves sync now, if you're in that 7-day period of an update of No Man's Sky, which is a little complicated because No Man's Sky updates, it updates every 2 weeks, pretty much like clockworks these days. You're just kind of fucked. And you'll be like, there's a save incompatible with the Switch 2 version until next update. And you're like, fuck.
Right. And then by the time that update comes out, they've done another update.
Yeah. So the solution right now, and they're working on it to figure that out, because they've realized that that's a problem. So the solution to that is to don't boot up No Man's Sky on your Xbox or your PlayStation. Like, just don't do it. Just don't even log in. just let it go, so then the save sync servers can just be happy with one another. Which is where it's at as of yesterday, because I was playing my unified save for the first time on Switch 2. Just the other night, checking to make sure everything's there. And I was like, okay, this is the solution. I guess I'm just not going to boot up either the PlayStation or Xbox. Even though,
play anywhere, but don't.
I mean, you can.
Yes.
You can. Asterisk.
Yes. You can play anywhere, but that's the only place you're going to be able to play it after that.
Yeah. Like, it's the whole thing is like, well, so the other thing was, I'd seen that Hitman World of Assassination Trilogy, they have a Switch 2 version. And I saw some performance reviews and stuff on it, and it's a little rough around the edges, but the whole game's there. And I was like, oh, sweet. And then I was like, ooh, cloud save. I was like, maybe I'll pick that up and carry on with my Xbox. And then they're like, yeah, we're not doing cloud saves on Switch version. And I'm like, why? Why would you do this? Why would you not do this? You know, get the fuck out of here. Like, if you're going to do it, do it. You know, like, that's so stupid. So anyway, I would like to get that on the go, but until they have cloud save, it's no bueno. So done some No Man's Sky, getting back into that a little bit. And then of course, as happens now with No Man's Sky, which is about to enter its 10th anniversary, nuts to say, next month. So everybody's expecting some sort of huge anniversary update, which also would not be terribly surprising because they do typically do a giant update in August.
Because they do that
every fucking year because they're fucking crazy. Yeah, nuts to say we've had a decade of No Man's Sky and constant
you hear that, other
updates.
Developers? This is how you do a 10-year plan successfully.
And they didn't even have a 10-year plan. Like, they just fucking like, yeah, we're just gonna keep working on it, you know, and continue to release it on every fucking available device, like it's fucking Doom running on a TX9 calculator, or smart fridge. So I've been doing that. Also been doing a lot of research because, of course, enough time has passed that I'm like, how do I do the thing that I knew how to do 8 months ago, and then they updated it, and now it's different? How do I do that thing that I used to know how to do? What is the way now?
I'm assuming a crafting tree of some sort.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, sometimes mechanics change, sometimes crafting trees change, sometimes the recipes change. I mean, things just change with No Man's Sky. Like, you get, I've been playing it for a decade now. You get used to the fact that it's like, you know, you boot it up, shit gonna be new.
Sure.
Sometimes in frustrating ways, only because it's like, well, like I was looking for a vendor on a space station that's like always over in a door to the right when you get to the space station, and that door's just not even fucking there anymore. And I'm like looking around the space station like, where the fuck did he go? I need to talk to him to sell him this thing.
Don't move Zur around. I need to spend my strange coins.
Where? So bad stuff. A lot of bad stuff. Xbox has canceled Perfect Dark Reboot and closed its developer, The Initiative. There's been a lot of other Xbox shit too that's been going on. Several of the developers have shut down. I heard a bunch of people got laid off from King, which was one of their multi-billion-dollar purchases ages ago. My friend of mine's wife actually helped on the sale of.
It was the KBA acquisition.
Yeah. I'm just upset about the Perfect Dark reboot.
Sure.
Because they showed it off last year. It looked amazing.
It looked pretty complete. Yeah.
Turns
out it wasn't, but still, it looked pretty damn good.
Those are the rumors. And that's the thing. Like, we don't know for sure. Like, okay, yes, they've been working on it for 6 years. Yes, they had to partner with Crystal Dynamics to, I guess, try to get the game finished. From a financial perspective, they were not able to produce a game that was sellable, and they had very high paying talent because that was mostly all ex Naughty Dog people. So it's like, that was probably not a good financial thing, and that's why it's canceled. I'm just sad because the game looked great from what they were able to show. It definitely is not a good thing.
And I'm sure the developers will land back on their feet somewhere because
I'm sure talent-wise they're fine. They're down in Santa Monica, where tons of AAA video game studios are. So they'll either land back at Sony or some other place down there. But it also comes, a bunch of really nasty rumors and unsubstantiated stuff, like that the Xbox division is losing so much money that it's become a big problem for Microsoft corporate. And apparently the CFO has set financial targets for this next quarter that just Xbox just cannot at all beat.
Sure.
And with everything else going on, and even though we've had confirmations now that they're working on next-gen hardware with AMD, and we have, the Xbox ROG Ally and stuff coming.
Right, the co-brandings that they've been doing.
There's just there's more uncertainty now in the Xbox camp than I think there's ever been at any other point before.
Sure.
There's rumors now from angry employees at Halo Studios that they're set to reveal whatever their next Halo thing is this October at the Halo Championship, which was announced that they will be revealing something there. But the scuttlebutt is that there is internal strife with the team about the quality of what will be presented in October.
Okay.
So that's not good. I haven't looked too deeply into it, mostly because I read a headline about it and I was too sad to continue. Apparently the Halo Infinite story wrapped up in a book recently, and I was like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean they wrapped it up in a book? What do you mean wrapped it up, fuckers? What does that mean? So I haven't looked into it. I don't know all the details. That's what I've heard. I could be wrong. As of last night, mysteriously, all of Microsoft movies and TV shows and music available for purchase on Xbox Store has shut down.
Okay.
You can no longer purchase movies, TV shows, music on Xbox or Windows, apparently.
You know what? Honestly, I didn't know you could do that anyways.
Fair. They got into it in the 360 era.
Okay.
They've said all your purchases will still be available and still streamable. You'll still have access to it moving forward. Whether
we're just not selling new shit anymore. Okay.
I have a little bit of a problem with that, only because there are some things that are only available through fucking that thing. Like I have a bunch of Halo stuff. Like I have like the Nightfall TV series. I have the Halo Reach miniseries. Like I have a bunch of the Halo, stuff that they produced.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only way to watch it. Because I can't log into an app on my iPhone and watch it because that's not available. So the only way to watch it is to either pull up my Zune or boot into the movies section on my Xbox, or whenever the fuck my PC returns from its visit in California.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's still sitting behind me.
Oh shit! He says. Oh shit, he says. This is Nate, by the way. Hey, I just came back from vacation. We're gonna do a podcast tomorrow. That cool? I was like, yeah, that's cool. He's like, I might be on my PC, and I'll be like, why? He's like, well, the Mac Mini flew off the table because my kids were using it as a fucking identity disc from Tron, and pouring Coca-Cola down in the fan ports. And I'm like, how? What do you mean?
I have it on a little keyboard tray down here, and they like to push their feet in, or they catch the cables in the back. So I come in here and I see, oh, what's that on the ground? Oh, it's the iMac again.
Well, it's not an iMac for starters.
Or mini,
because they
Mac
would
Mini.
definitely broken that if it was an iMac.
Yeah. But thankfully it's been turned off, so nothing has
True. And thankfully it's an M2, so even though there's really chips that are only fill about a quarter of that body, it still has the old 2007 aluminum shell that's like half an inch fucking thick everywhere. So
yeah,
it should be able to take it. And I think, as I said to Nate, I was like, I can't give you nice things. Can I, Nate?
No.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, the wife has been letting the kids play Roblox in here, and that's been It's been a thing.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
I haven't been able to play a whole lot of games. Like, I have, sorry. New season of Destiny's out. I want to try it.
Gross. The least
sure.
played expansion of Destiny ever. As I've
Interesting.
heard.
Okay.
Yeah, not surprising. Not surprising.
No. But yeah, so every time I come in here to try to sit on my computer, I've got 2 kids in here that are Robloxing it up, playing some weird, like, animal game
Keep
where
talking.
they're wolves. So yeah, it's been. You okay there, buddy? He's over here clutching his chest while he walks away. But yeah, so it's made it to where I can't sit and catch up on my games. So there's a lot of stuff I've been wanting to play, just haven't had the opportunity to. But I did get some of my nostalgia kick in again, back and going to retro stuff. The whole Warcraft, World of Warcraft and Warcraft suite has been dropped for Xbox Game Pass. So I went back and played Warcraft, Warcraft 2.
The RTSs.
What was? The RTSs. The original funny overclicks.
Remade 2, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Was 1 remade as well?
Yes, it was.
How is that?
It's all right. The gameplay is no different. It's just got better music.
1 was rough, even back in the day.
It's got the music's better. The graphics are cleaned up, but it's still pretty jank.
Warcraft 3 was my favorite.
Oh, and it looks beautiful.
Sweet.
Plays beautiful.
Nice.
So yeah, I went through the 3 of those, and of course, enabled cheat modes because I suck at RTSs now. Apparently, like I'm trying to build stuff and mine stuff, and I no longer have that muscle memory like I did with StarCraft.
I mean, you probably remember how to play, but you don't remember how to play good.
Yeah,
that's what I've always experienced.
I'm just getting the base resources up, and here comes the enemy and just wipes my shit out. And I'm like, wow, thanks for. And this was on easy.
I believe it.
So,
I mean, stranger things
looked
have
up
happened.
all the cheat codes. Yeah, looked up all the cheat codes, and then promptly annihilated the enemy just to go. Yeah, okay, I remember what this felt like.
There you go.
And then I played of all the games that I didn't expect to be playing. Saving Private Ryan Simulator, modern was it Call of Duty World War II?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
Call of Duty.
There's a lot of Call of Duties that take place in World War II.
Yeah.
Like Call of Duty 1 and 2, I believe.
Yeah, specifically the World War II edition, which is, like I said, it's a Saving Private Ryan Simulator.
Okay.
Stormed the beach of Normandy.
Yep.
And died often.
Yeah.
Like that game pulls no punches.
Cool.
So had fun doing that. What else have I been playing? Oh yeah, you said grossed my now rank 1700 in.
I thought you stopped, man. I thought you stopped.
I did. You saw how much that worked. How much I stopped at 1700 in Exo Miner.
I still have it installed. I haven't gone back to it. I guess I'll boot it up on the show to see if they fix that goddamn frame rate.
Probably not, because it's been coming and going on mine now too. And then of course, coffee golf. I've been hitting a lot of 1%ers lately.
I even played a few rounds.
Yeah, I've been hitting those 1% quite a bit lately.
Hey, the frame rate doesn't suck.
Yay!
Sick.
What level are you? What rank? Like 90?
What rank are you?
1700.
I'm 59.
Got some catching up to do there, bud.
I guess. Fuck.
They did. There's some quality of life improvements that they made recently that I'm like, oh, thank God.
What?
Like
Do.
When you're queuing your resources, refining and construction, it remembers how far down the list you've scrolled. So, like later in the game, when you have to build multiple things or refine multiple things, you don't have to keep scrolling to the bottom every single fucking time.
Cool.
Obviously, the max button is nice when you're upgrading your resources, because now instead of just going to whatever max is, it does by 100 increments.
Okay.
So you don't accidentally go, oh, I didn't need to refine carbon at 431 times. I could have used those.
I don't remember. Does this work on tablet? And what I mean by that is, does it like actually go tablet landscape? Or is it stuck in phone? I don't remember.
I think it's stuck in phone.
That's so stupid.
Or no, because I know it.
Because I would totally have this running on the tablet that I acquired from my dad.
Sure, you can try it.
It's true. It's true. I'll have to try it.
Yeah, no harm in trying.
Yeah, but that's good to know they fixed the frame rate, because that drove me for a game that shouldn't have frame rate problems. I'm like, no, no, you don't have an excuse, sir.
Right?
Like, that's crazy. But speaking of frame rate problems and hell freezing over, Helldivers 2 is coming to Xbox Series S and X on August 26th.
About fucking time.
Wild.
Right?
This is a big deal because it is actually being published on Xbox by PlayStation Studios.
Not the first time.
Well, not the first time that they haven't had a gun to their head, like from the MLB.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a big deal. I listened to a podcast recently on this, on Sacred Symbols, and they had a different take on this one, backed up with some research that they did. And the research that they did was basically PlayStation has lost so much fucking money internally from their canceled teams, their canceled multiplayer projects and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually found out recently that Helldivers 2 on Xbox is not being made by the Helldivers team. It's being made internally at PlayStation by their PC port team, Nixxes, which they acquired years ago. And that's all they do is PC ports.
Interesting.
And they are the ones producing this for Xbox. And they further labeled it as quite interesting because Helldivers is basically a live service game. So putting it on that platform would mean upkeep of development resources. Yeah. And they also pointed out that they're like, so at some point a month ago to 12 months or month and a half ago, or year to a year and a half ago, it was determined by Sony that they needed to extract more revenue. And so the take that they had on it from Sacred Symbols was that this is actually a play to balance some checkbooks. And I was like, interesting.
Sure.
And then, of course, as everybody said, and you and I have said, as Xbox people, or in your case, PC people, Helldivers 2 is like a very Xboxy game. Like, it is the type of game that Xbox people would play and will play. In fact, my Xbox community is like, oh, sweet, that game looks sick. We're going to play it on Xbox. Yep. And I'm like, yep, that's fucking
Guess you are.
Yeah.
And it, and again, it's like the whole console war nonsense. It's like you don't want to make money.
True.
At this point with Helldivers 2, like there's no reason. You've had it on your stable now for how long has it not been on Xbox?
Well, and Sacred Symbols guys, who are world's number one PlayStation podcast, they pointed out a good thing of like, they're like, well, if it'll run on the Xbox Series S, that means it'll run on the Switch too. what's stopping them from putting it on Switch 2? In which case, that market could potentially be a gold mine.
Oh, imagine, doing Helldivers when you're, sitting in the bathtub or sitting on the shitter or...
Yeah, it doesn't have... it's peer-to-peer.
Right.
It's only 4 people in an environment. So you don't need a server. Switch's whole thing is local gameplay, which, by the way, I have a thing to talk about that. Actually, I might as well talk about it now since we're in gaming. So I did a work trip thing here, and I was able to try the Switch Game Share feature.
Okay.
So I was in a hotel, actually with Daniel for work. This was several weeks before he quit. And he had his Switch 1, and I had my Switch 2. And I wanted to play something because we had a bunch of time to kill. And the internet at the hotel was less than stellar. And so he's like, well, I can't really download something quickly. And then I was like, I could try this game share thing that's now in the UI. And he's like, yeah, I have a game share thing too, which is one of the things back earlier in this year that was announced for both consoles, strangely. And so I booted up Super Mario 3D World, and I guess screen streamed it from my Switch 2 to his Switch 1, and it worked. And it worked real well.
Interesting.
It was a little bit fuzzy on his screen, but totally playable. And we played a bunch of co-op levels.
Nice.
And I'm like, huh. Well done, Nintendo. Well done. And that game share is coming to more old Switch 1 games that you can do that with. And I'm like, that's crazy. I don't know how it works the other way, because supposedly you can do it from Switch 1 to other Switch 1s. I don't know how well that works in comparison, because obviously I'm using, the biggest and best hardware in comparison to the Switch OLED. But it worked. It worked great. And it wasn't it wasn't finagly, oh, you're trying to get it to work. It just worked like an Apple thing. And I was like, huh, all right.
Can we keep doing smart stuff like this?
Yeah, exactly. So on that same topic, played a bunch of games, beat a game that I forgot to beat last summer. Went back to Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, the Zelda playing game that released on Switch last September or August or sometime last summer.
Okay.
It has the Switch 2 update, free one. So 4K HDR 60 FPS, and it's like, you looking crispy, game. Looking real nice. Looking real nice. I'd stopped just shy of the final boss and dungeon. And so thankfully there's a boss gauntlet. And so I did that for about 2 evenings to get back into the groove of playing. Because I had to remember controls, and I was like, okay, I remember how to do this, and I need to do this, and okay, I did that poorly. Okay, I need to do this. I had to get my shit together. Did the last dungeon, then did the last boss fight, which is holy Jesus. Was there a boss spike difficulty? I think I said before, the game fun, not that difficult. Probably geared towards younger, or I don't know, maybe because you do play as Zelda, maybe geared toward female, so it's made easier. And I'd played the whole game in hard mode, which was, not hard. But Jesus, that final boss fight, holy fuck. Very difficult. Very difficult. Took me...
They made you earn it.
Took me several several tries, 2 nights, and it was one of those boss fights that had like fucking 5 stages to it. And if you die, well, now you're back on stage 1. Tough shit. You got to fight the other forms.
I hate that.
Yeah,
so
it's very hardcore. I was surprised at how hardcore it was, and I was like, "Damn, wild, very wild." It also, without spoiling, does a thing that I'm not going to spoil in the final dungeon that almost feels like Nintendo testing an idea. And even though the game's not multiplayer, it feels like Nintendo testing an idea out for a 2-player co-op Zelda game.
Okay.
That's all I'll say. That's all I really can say. But I was like, huh. And the whole dungeon is this, huh? Okay.
There's no reason they can't try it.
No reason at all.
And it's and it is the IP to do it with.
Well, and the game's been out for over a year now. There's been a bunch of developers and interviews. Apparently, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom started life as a Zelda dungeon maker.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere in there became a single-player game about Zelda. I don't know how that happened exactly, but that's apparently where development started, and then it shifted drastically. So interesting thing there. Yes, your 1700 rank on Exo Minor.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, or actually to back up a bit, I've been playing a lot of Vampire Survivors across.
Yeah, I noticed that you're tagged in it on your Discord name.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, to be totally honest. Because I've been in that server for a while. I don't know. I don't know. Played a lot of Vampire Survivors. I have now done everything in Vampire Survivors with the exception of the final 3 unlocks, which are the 3 adventures.
Okay.
And I know you haven't played that game, but what that means is I've unlocked over 400 characters, 1,000 items, and there's an ungodly amount of unlockables in this game, and I've gotten them all except for 3, Nate. Except for 3.
Gross.
Yes,
gross.
It is gross. But it's also easy to play that because Cloud Sync save. I played on Xbox, played on Switch 2, played on my phone. So
again, they're doing something right.
Yes. It's
why
a
all games
game.
At this point have not gone multi-platform cross save?
Yeah, cross save is really honestly, it's the future.
Yep.
It's the future. Speaking of cross saves, and I've played a bunch of Doc, but when I was on a work trip in a hotel for 3-4 days or something, played a lot of Cyberpunk 2077 on Switch 2.
Yep. Hold up?
Yeah. It's fucking remarkable playing that game mobile. Absolutely remarkable. What's also equally remarkable and really kind of showcases it, the built-in speakers of the Switch 2, really good spatial separation. Like I'm just playing, got the kickstand up on my belly, just laid back on a hotel bed, Joy-Cons to the side. It's great. It's fantastic. Yeah. One final note on the Cyberpunk thing, because there was a Cyberpunk update this week, Cyberpunk 2.3, which I watched the stream for. They did not need an hour stream for what was announced. Basically, they added like 6 missions, some new cars, some new skins, some new paint jobs, photo mode stuff, apparently a working transit system because fuck it. Why not? They also added auto-driving cars to the game. So you can get in a car, waypoint, open your menu, tinker with your stuff while you're driving, It's totally optional because there's fucking fast travel in this game.
Right.
Or subway or taxi or, just all these things.
If you want to do that full role play kind of thing, that's perfect. Because like you said, you can hop on the subway and tinker.
Yep. I mean, there's certainly stuff to tinker with in the menu. That's for sure.
Yeah. My least favorite part of driving is, going from keyboard mouse. And I play anytime I'm walking around or shooting on keyboard mouse. As soon as I hop in a car, I reach over and grab my controller.
Yeah.
Because
of the triggers.
Because of the analog sticks.
Oh yeah.
Right, the analog gas and brake. So I'm not just full throttle, full brake, full throttle, full brake. Full 90-degree turns.
As I've said, I think the first time I was talking about my Switch 2 experience, that is the one thing I dislike on Cyberpunk 2077 on Switch, because you don't have analog triggers on the Switch.
Right.
So gas is go, or
and
not.
brake is brake is stop. That is slow down.
One thing that kind of sucks.
Yeah, and so I don't need to completely wreck my car or have police chase me because I'm doing a simple fetch quest because I can't drive. So
speaking of driving, they also added a mode that they said some fans had requested, particularly YouTubers who had made video wallpapers of their game, where I guess you can get in a car and set it to roam and turn cinematic cameras on, and the car will just drive around the city and the cameras will flip around and it'll be like a fucking cool ass game screensaver of Night City. Because I mean, the city is amazing to look at. So but they added it as an actual thing.
Nice.
They said, it's really cool. They said the one caveat to that is if the card
will cook your video card.
I mean, probably, but they said the one caveat to that is if the card does, for whatever reason on the AI changing, drive through a territory and that territory is hostile to you, you will get attacked and you will get pulled out of it. They said we have lessened the range that they will attack you on this, but they couldn't remove it completely, or so they say.
Sure.
So they're like, so you might have 10 minutes, you might have 8 hours in the thing. It depends.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they turned it off, it would be exploited, because then you just free roam into the area when you get near a waypoint. Hop out, do the thing real quick, get back in, free roam.
Yeah, I think that's the real reason. Also on the PC side, they said that they've apparently done something to the lighting system that I guess people were complaining about, and fixed something in the lighting system. I don't know what it is.
Okay. I don't either.
They also said that they will be supporting AMD FSR 4 soon on PC, and then that will also come to consoles later for PlayStation and Xbox, because Switch doesn't need it because it's using DLSS. And then they've also said that they partnered with Intel and they're bringing it to Intel's XS, which is their AI upscaler. They're bringing that natively to the thing. And then as of a couple of days ago, officially, Cyberpunk 2077 is on Mac.
Interesting.
And it runs on all Apple Silicon Macs, even down to the M1, with the caveat that you must have at least 16 gigs of RAM.
Do I have 16 gigs on this one?
No. You have 8. I have 8. You have 8 better. But then also they're like, and if you got the game on Good Old Games or Steam, you get the Mac version for free. And I was like, solid. Good job.
Nice.
Good job, CD Projekt. I haven't heard how it actually performs on Mac, but given the fact that Macs could fucking run the game in a Windows emulator better than most PCs, I'm sure their version that runs natively probably pretty good. But I haven't seen officially its performance metrics. I assume Digital Foundry will do a thing on it, because they also said that not only is it native, but they said they actually worked with Apple to optimize it, and they also have Metal FX running full hilt in the game as well.
Nice.
So Cyberpunk becoming, I don't know, Doom. Can it run Cyberpunk? Probably. Most things run Cyberpunk now.
Remember when it was, it was a hard game to run, and now it runs everywhere.
Yeah. And then one final note on that thing, Digital Foundry did their final comparison analysis between the Switch 2, Cyberpunk, and PC and consoles. And they talked to some developers who broke NDAs on on some Nintendo stuff. And so now the de facto statement on the Nintendo Switch 2 is that its CPU is a little bit better than a PS4 Pro's. Its GPU is better than an Xbox Series S. And that obviously its DLSS chip is fucking top notch. It's almost as good as the 4080 or whatever it is in terms of its DLSS performance. They said the caveat to that, though, obviously, since it is a portable system, is if you're going to use that DLSS chip, there seems to be different modes or power performance profiles to it. Okay. There's like a low, medium, and a high, and that 100% does have an impact on full system resources. And that on Cyberpunk 2077, CD Projekt is using it in high, and that it is the best portable version of Cyberpunk you can possibly play, leagues above the portable version on Steam Deck by exhaustive comparative analysis.
Nice. Yeah, Steam Deck is Steam Deck and the Steam Deck.
Yeah, because they're like it's not even a comparison. They're like, you compare, they do the video comparison, and it's like you're playing on Steam Deck, you're playing 720p, and you have medium and low visuals. They're like, you compare that to the portable on Switch 2, and you're getting 30 to 40 frames per second VRR. They're like, and if you look at the textures, you're getting the quality of textures that you get on a PS5. Right. Yep. They're like, it's not even close, actually. Right. And that the work that CD Projekt did, they said the most interesting thing about it that they could find, especially comparing down to like a PC and trying to spec a PC closer to what you would think the Switch 2 is, even that's not comparable. And they pointed out scenes where, clearly CD Projekt is using DLSS to huge advantage, but also their textures are really high. But it seemed like in very curated scenes, things that you wouldn't typically even notice really in Cyberpunk, like they're talking like geometry on some pipes is reduced and things like that in the background that are like negligible but still give a huge impact to the graphics. Sure. Yeah. So yeah, they were very, very impressed. And then after seeing that and after seeing the Mac thing, I wonder, this is my own personal thought, if the reason we have a Mac version, and again, I've not seen how it performs, the reason we have a Mac version is because the work to port it to ARM architecture is already done on Switch. And I wonder if that's not some two birds, one stone development cost scenario thing. I would think so.
Hey,
personally.
We did this thing.
They're like, hey, we already got it running on ARM v whatever the hell Switch 2 has. Right. Guess what?
How much harder would
Apple
it be?
Silicon runs on. And we just need to get our shader libraries to work with Metal. We can do that. I think that's a win-win. So yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition, new version 2.3 out on July 17th. So a couple days ago, along with the Mac version.
Okay.
And then they had said in the stream really weirdly that the Switch 2 version wasn't going to come for a while. Switch 2 version's already out. It dropped last night. So I don't know I don't know why they said that. And again, I don't know why they had a fucking 50-minute stream for colors and a couple of missions and stuff. One final interesting thing, sorry to belabor the point on Cyberpunk, from that developer stream, because I fucking watched it because I've been driving in traffic a lot this week. Had nothing better to do. This update was not made by CD Projekt Red. It was made by Virtuos Studio, who did the Oblivion remake. Very interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting that another studio did an update that has a couple of missions and stuff on it. Very interesting. A lot of people are speculating if perhaps Virtuos is working on like a smaller intermediary expansion to bridge the gap between Cyberpunk 2077 and Cyberpunk 2.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Then again, as long as it doesn't hurt the overall product and everyone shares the same vision, I'm all for farming out some of that.
So yeah, the main event here, Nintendo first-party title developed by the Super Mario Galaxy team, the Super Mario Odyssey team, Donkey Kong Bonanza, came out Thursday. What many people are claiming should have been the launch title for the Switch 2, but here it is a month later, basically, from when the Switch 2 came out. I have played a good chunk of it. I have many things to say about it.
All good?
Yes, all good. I think so. It's strange. I've been playing video games a long time. I played a lot of platformers. I've seen evolutions of genres of games. Games go from 2D to 3D, well, poorly, etc. And Donkey Kong Bonanza is undeniably a breath of fresh air, pun intended, I think, for the platforming genre. So, you have a team that is arguably the apex team of platformers, the fucking Mario team, like the A team at Nintendo.
Right.
And they are, quite frankly, unleashed into doing not a Mario game. like clearly there's a lot of you can feel the, oh my God, we don't stomp on Goombas. We get to play Donkey Kong, and then also we get to completely fucking destroy a level if we want to.
Right.
Yeah, it's wild in a literal way, because when you first start playing, I want to get this out of the way. Its tutorial area is absolutely terrible. It is fucking trash. It's garbage. It's not good. And it feels so un-Nintendo-like. And Nintendo had to put it in because playtesters told them they needed a tutorial area because players would get confused or some shit. And so basically, you have several things happening in this game. You have an openness, not unlike The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, or more importantly, Tears of the Kingdom, in terms of applying hey, here's how you should do this level, and jump over here and climb on this and do this, and you can beat the level as we have designed it. Mm-hmm. But from the more recent Zelda games, it's they're or you could do some other crazy shit and still beat it your way.
Right.
And that's really refreshing, because it's you'll look at a thing and you'll look at I've been playing for years, a 3D platforming obstacle course, and you see some shit and you're like, oh, that's cool. You're like, or I could do all those platforms and I could do those things. So or because Donkey Kong plays like the fucking Incredible Hulk in this game, or I could just punch through the fucking dirt and fucking dig upwards until I reach the objective because fuck it. Why not? And that's fucking cool. It's really cool to be like, yeah, here's a Nintendo crafted platforming section that you know is going to look and feel and play and be polished. But then if you want to, you just be like, nah, Hulk smash, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to fucking break it. I'm just going to completely break your curated level and make my own fucking path to the objective. Like, I'm going to totally ignore this like crafted level that typically you would be boxed in about.
Right.
And just like, yeah, I'm just going to fucking dig a hole. I'm just going to take this chunk of dirt and I'm going to fucking throw it until I make a bridge, because you can throw stuff and you can like, the geometry sticks to itself depending on the type of, like if you take like dirty mud shit rock, you can like throw it and it like sticks to itself and you can make like just a jank ass geometry bridge like around stuff like a fire pit or whatever the fuck, you know? And it's just like, well, that worked. Fuck it. Like there's so much of that Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, like, yeah, I see how I could pull that lever and I could make that platform move and I could move that spinning spike thing over there that would allow my path. They're like, or I could do this other thing and still achieve the same goal. And that is really refreshing because it really feels, and this is going to be really high compliments from my opinion, because I hold these games in particular high regard. It feels like playing a Banjo-Kazooie, like an original Banjo-Kazooie platformer from the N64 days, which are considered some of the peak platforming games even to this day, with the option to just go, fuck it, with the design and like just break it and figure out your own way to do the thing, which is really fucking cool. It's really fucking original. And it's original in a way that is, you know, like it's not the same thing. It's like Breath of the Wild, it'd be like, okay, I have these tools. I could do this. I could do that. You know, I could climb over here. I could do this, you know, versus Tears of the Kingdom Zelda. It's like, oh, what whack ass laser filled contraption of death could I build or fly to solve this situation? You know? And here it's like, well, how could I destroy what they built to my advantage? You know, like that's basically what it comes down to, is like, how can I Hulk smash this into victory? Like quite literally, because that's like the core mechanic. And very interestingly, a couple days ago, there was like a fucking 36-page developer article posted on Nintendo's website about how they built this game. And interestingly enough, it shares a lot in common with No Man's Sky and Minecraft in that it is handcrafted, but procedurally generated, but also they're using the thing that Minecraft's made out of, the 3D cubes, voxels.
Oh, okay.
They said the entire game is voxel based, and they did some Nintendo wizardry to make it not look cube based, which a lot of people, including Digital Foundry, are like, how did they do that? Because like when you look at it, it does not look like voxels at all.
Right.
In fact, I would argue it's maybe closer to Astroneer, actually, in terms of like when you start destroying stuff, it's like there's just unlimited freedom to destroy the geometry in a way that I've really only seen in Astroneer. And you could compare it to No Man's Sky, which has that, or Minecraft. The difference is, you know, in Minecraft, you're like building, and this is all about destruction, which is a very different take than, oh, I'm Mario, I'm going to jump, and I'm going to flip, and I'm going to stomp a Goomba, and I'm going to flip a switch and do a thing.
Right. I'm going to platform.
Yeah, like it's been memed to death already, but it really is a little bit of like the Disney movie Wreck-It Ralph, where it's like, yeah, I could do that, or I could just wreck it, like, or I could just beat the shit out of something until I have victory, which is great, which is great.
If at first you don't succeed, beat it into submission.
Yeah, I mean that is the thing, because I find myself going around the levels and I'm like trying to do them how I've been doing them for 30 years. And then I like get stuck and I'm like, well, this is stupid. And then I get a little bit mad and I start punching things and I'm like, oh, punching is the solution. Like then you feel better about it. And it's like that I can't think of another video game experience where it's like, oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm frustrated. And then like, you know, like any other, I'm sure you've had points of video games where you just start fucking button mashing because you're this stupid fucking thing. But in this game, like Donkey Kong just starts punching and throwing shit and whatnot. And then suddenly it's like, oh, I made a hole. Oh, well, let me just go around this stupid metal door. Oh yeah, fuck you, metal door. I don't need you. And it's just like,
you need a key. No, I don't.
Yeah. So this, I posted this meme that's been going around the internet this morning of Donkey Kong Bonanza is Breath of the Wild meets Super Mario Odyssey meets Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And I specifically bring that up as a comparison because compared to like Super Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, Kirby and the Forgotten Land has really fantastical environments. And Donkey Kong Bonanza, once you get out of the stupid tutorial area, has just like really wild landscapes, and it's very different. So like the weird whole conceit of the game is like Donkey Kong is like falling down through different layers of the planets towards the planet's core. And so each of the like, I'm not going to call it open world like Breath of the Wild. I would actually compare it to Sonic Frontiers open zones, like these big open areas, but they're not like open world per se. But they're like all stacked on top of each other. So like if you just start digging down, like you'll make it to the next level or open zone. And it's like, like almost like how you have like the underground stuff in Minecraft. You know, it's like, oh, you got like the little foresty area. And then if you dig down, well, then you're in the mines. And you keep digging down. Oh, you're in the lava area. You know, it's somewhat, I say that with an asterisk, it's somewhat similar to that effect.
Okay.
And it's very different. And then specifically, and I played this game back in the game, so I can speak definitively on it. And everybody wishes they would fucking remake this game or just make a new one. There's a game on the PlayStation 2 Xbox era called The Incredible Hulk. It's made by Sierra. And it was like very comic booky, and I had comic book panels and stuff. But it's the first and only Hulk game where you could just destroy everything. You could destroy buildings. You could punch cars. I remember a move in this game to the day where he takes like rips a car in half and he punches it together. And he turns it into like boxing gloves. But it was really, really fun. It was called Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. And it was really, really good. And it was a lot of destruction. It made you feel like Hulk. And this was back in the PS2 and original Xbox era. And they just never did it again with the Hulk. I would argue they got a little close with it in terms of at least the move set in the Avengers game, the multiplayer Avengers game that came out several years ago that crashed and burned. But even then, like you couldn't like destroy everything. And that was a real thing of like that game. It was like, oh yeah, that building's in your way, just fucking punch it. You're the Hulk. Who gives a shit? You know, oh, that tank's in the way? You fucking punch it. Punching is the solution. And so that's why I really feel like, and maybe Nintendo played that game, or maybe they didn't. I don't know. But like this is a full, like AAA high budget Nintendo game where you have these amazing, cool, fantastical crafted thing. Like there's this lagoon which is level 2 that's got like a water rising mechanic. It's got pipes everywhere. Like, it looks crazy cool. And you can just destroy all of it if you really want to. Like, there's a literal button in the game. So all of the damage is permanent unless you go onto your map and you hold the plus button for like 30 seconds. And it's like, are you sure you want to reset the environmental damage? And you can if you want to. Like, if you fucked yourself, for example, like, I needed like dirt here. I can't get to that platform. I destroyed too much. The rage got the better of me, man. Like, I can't get over there. I'm fucked. Like, you can reset the level, but otherwise, like, it's permanent if you wanted to. So it's like, yeah, rawr. And it's like, that's cool. That's really refreshing. And I can't think of another game that is a crafted platformer that also embraces
chaos.
Absolute fucking chaos. Just fucking crazy. And then the thing that's weirder, and I've only got the first one, like Donkey Kong can transform. Like the first thing you get in level 2, so it's not too much of a spoiler, it's like basically like a Super Saiyan, like bigger Donkey Kong. And you use that because like you have to transform into that because it's like the only way you can break metal in this game. Like base Donkey Kong form, metal's too strong, you can't punch through it. But big Donkey Kong, you can fucking break down metal, and yeah, it's interesting. And the other thing about it too is like so I made it to level 4, or as they call it in this game, layer, sub-level layer feet 400 or whatever the fuck, because you're always constantly going down in this game. It's one thing I will say is when you reach level 3 feels weird. And it's funny, I remember saying the same thing about a dungeon sequence in Echoes of Wisdom, actually, that there was a lava dungeon that felt like it was the first dungeon, but it's like the 6th dungeon, and it's like not strong in comparison of like the buildup of the game. And when you get to layer 3 in Donkey Kong Bonanza, it's like, this is way simpler than level 2. Like, this is just plain way simpler. It's like a rolling hills. It's kind of like peaceful and friendly, but there's like no platforms. Like, everything's about digging in that particular thing. So like when you look out, you're just like, not a lot going on in this particular level. And then like the way you do the missions, and you're going after golden bananas, which are basically the same as like going after moons or stars in Mario. It's just like, I feel like maybe this was the actual first level, but they chose to swap it with the what is the second level in the game, because the second level has a lot more going on for it and more mechanics and stuff. So that feels a little weird. Like, it was a little weird. Like, don't get me wrong, I liked the level; it was great. But like mechanically, it's like, okay, this level is literally telling me how to dig some things that I already figured out on my own in what is the level 2, like, because basically, and I've not heard anybody really talk about this, so I'll talk about it on the show for those who care. I'd always been really curious, like, okay, so there's digging in this game and punching everything. Like, what the fuck are the controls? Like, are they on the triggers? Like, how does it actually play? So the left trigger makes Donkey Kong roll forward in a ball for like a little bit, not unlike Sonic the Hedgehog, strangely.
Yeah.
The Y button is a forward punch. That's important to note. So if you're at like Donkey Kong's eye level to like a wall, he's going to go through the wall. The A button is a downward punch. And the what would be the Y button? I think it's the X button. I always get confused. Where's the controller? Oh, the Switch controller here. The X button. The X button is up punch. And then, of course, A is jump. And then the right shoulder button is now considered a classic, iconic Donkey Kong where he does the hand slap on the ground. But in this game, it's done as both a sonar thing to like ping stuff that's like in the dirt to find, but also as you're digging, because they set up from like the first 2 seconds that Donkey Kong, I guess, is a fucking miner or something, like, pickaxe miner person. And so hidden, like a general thing in the game is gold bid currency, and it's calculated down to the 0.00, chunks of gold or ounces or whatever the fuck it is. But so like you punch gold out, but you don't pick it up. Like if you run over it, like with the character, it just physics out of the way. And the only way to pick it up is to clap the ground with the sonar thing. And then Donkey Kong does that, and then he does like a clap, and then I don't know, it sucks it all into him or something. And then right trigger, when you hold it, he rips a chunk of ground underneath his feet. And then you can either press right trigger again to hurl that chunk. If you hold right trigger, it goes down into a third person targeting. You have a reticle, and you can free aim that. However, that's how you would build like a bridge to something. Or while holding the thing, if you press, I think it's Y, then Donkey Kong gets on top of it and spins it around with his feet like a fucking surfboard. And so those are basically the controls in the game. And it's like it's interesting because they give you, like I said, you have a middle, up, and a down punch, but you need those when you're like literally going into geometry and terrain. It's like, okay, yeah, I need to punch up and I need to go up versus down. And it's an interesting, it's a simple solution to navigation in a 3D space when you're in a third person camera. Because obviously if it's like Minecraft or No Man's Sky, you just look, because those are played from a first person perspective. But yeah, it's interesting. It's really fascinating. And I think one of the most surprising things about it, since it is from the core Mario team, is how much it feels, and it's a little bit odd, right? In the lineage of Donkey Kong, right? Like it was originally made by Shigeru Miyamoto. It was a coin-op arcade machine, Jumpman and that sort of stuff. It wasn't even Mario in the original days. It was Donkey Kong. Yeah. Donkey Kong was the
cutting out like every half second right now.
Am I? That sucks.
Yeah. You've been doing it the entire time, but it just suddenly got really bad.
Oh, you just got a little robotic-y yourself there.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll keep going. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because Nintendo, even though they own Donkey Kong, they haven't been the ones who have always made Donkey Kong, right? There's the whole 90s era in the Super NES, where it's made by Rare, which are British, and they made 6 games there, 3 on the Super NES, 2 on the Game Boy, and then they did Donkey Kong Country, or Donkey Kong 64. And then there hasn't been a Donkey Kong game until there was Donkey Kong Country Returns and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, which were a return to the Super NES style. And so there really, other than Donkey Kong 64, there has not been a legitimate 3D Donkey Kong game ever. And so, and for that matter, one done internally by Nintendo, like themselves, which is really strange to think about it, considering it's like, it's Mario and Donkey Kong. Like they were both in that fucking movie, that 1 billion people saw. So it's interesting. It's a cool choice. I've always liked Donkey Kong. I've always thought the name sucked. I always thought it's weird. And even in the game, they're like, yo, Donkey, what's up? And it's like, yeah, that still is stupid.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm having a really good time with it. It's like other things, but at the same time, so different. And there's been some debate and topic about this already on the internet, but like, man, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I think, changed Nintendo forever in terms of like what openness and what creativity is possible for their type of games moving forward. And if we got, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom last generation, and we got some really great, classic single player stuff like Super Mario Odyssey and Kirby and stuff. But if they're moving in this, hey, not only can we totally reinvent our characters, but we can reinvent them in a way that feels true to them while becoming more open and more creative and simultaneously hitting this thing that Nintendo's always been good at, of doing this ultra curated, very polished game while being open and allowing people the creativity and stuff that obviously, your kids have grown up on with Minecraft and Roblox and all these games that you and I didn't have growing up. Like a corridor shooter or a level for us, like that's normal. And it wasn't until the 2000s when we got open world games that, even meant anything or were doing things well. And now we're getting into this era where we have openness that isn't necessarily open world, but in a way that feels like an actual meaningful evolution of gameplay that's not just, oh, they made it this genre, or, oh, we now have ray tracing or whatever the fuck. And you're giving a lot of weird looks as you're looking around your screen like something happened.
It made a noise, and I don't know where it came from.
What kind of noise?
Bing, bing, bing.
Could have come from the internal speaker of the Mac.
Well, it came through my headphones.
Oh.
So I'm trying to figure out what's trying to notify me of something.
Oh.
Oh, well.
Do you have on the top of your bar towards the right, there's like two things that look like switches opposing each other?
Switches opposing, yes.
Click that.
Okay.
Is there a notification anywhere in there?
Nope.
Okay, then there's nothing. It's fine.
Okay.
As to what that thing is, I couldn't tell you. But that's where a notification would pop up if it was, I don't know, meaningful. So anyway, Donkey Kong Bonanza. What a wild time. And the argument's already been made online, and I agree with the argument. Yeah, it should have been the launch title. I don't know why it was delayed a month. I mean, obviously they needed to do something with it. I don't know whether it was they had some serious bugs that they absolutely had to crush before it came out or something. But, Mario Kart World is cool in that it's open world and it does some neat things, but it's still Mario Kart. Like, it's not revolutionary. And Donkey Kong Bonanza is already like, oh damn, this is a game, baby. This is already going to be on the short list for Game of the Year. Like, I can feel it. Like it's just doing so much. And it's interesting. Like I said, they did their whole document expose and how they had actually started experimenting with voxels in like the snow level, and apparently there's a food level in Super Mario Odyssey back on Switch 1. And they had a little tiny voxel engine running for just those. They were just some graphic stuff that they were doing. And then somehow that turned into a whole game, basically, and they had to rewrite their engine. They said, yeah, everything in the game is made using voxels, even DK. They're like, oh, that's interesting. And originally, and it's cool that they showed this because we would have never known this. Originally, it started life as a Switch 1 game. And they showed some footage and a couple screenshots of Donkey Kong Bonanza running on Switch 1. But in terms of graphical fidelity and geometry, like it was a night and day difference between Switch 1 and Switch 2. And they said their primary reason for not releasing it on Switch was they just couldn't accomplish the game that they wanted to accomplish with the frame rate that they wanted to hit, which is 60 FPS on Switch 1. And they said a thing that they hadn't thought about because they'd never done anything with voxels is they're like, if you look at a pixel or a triangle, that's, how games are made up of. They're like, we know how to work that into RAM. When you switch to voxels, you basically have a 3D cube, but your game engine needs to account for that. So you're quadrupling the asset that you would have on display. And they're like, we just didn't have the RAM to do it in 4 gigs of RAM on the Switch 1. And so they said they transitioned the project from Switch 1 to Switch 2 in 2021, actually. And so they've actually been working on this game for a fucking while because Super Mario Odyssey came out in 2017. And so they've been working on Bonanza for that whole time, apparently. So it's pretty crazy story, really. So anyways, I belabor the point. I think it's great. It's 100% what I'm going to be doing the rest of my day is just chilling because it's just fun. Like that's the other thing. Like it's like, when you play a great, well-crafted video game and you're just having fun, like I know some people get lost in the, perhaps the minutia of stuff of like, ooh, Cyberpunk 27, great game. Also a little simmy. Like, okay, you can ride the subway. It's not really gameplay, You can get lost in the minutia of the fact that, I don't know about you, but like I played fucking games and started to when I was a kid because it was fun, And
that's what I want out of my games. I don't, That's why I've gotten out of some franchises. They just stopped being fun, and they started being chores.
Yes, and Donkey Kong Bonanza does not feel like a chore, and it was especially yesterday. Yesterday was a fucking end of a really rough week, just work wise and exhaustion and stuff. And I'm still playing Night Rain with the boys and stuff, which is fun in its own right, but like it's also hard and punishing. And then I wound down last night and I was like, okay, let me collect a couple of fucking bananas. Golden bananas is what you or I think they call them bandanium gems or some fucking stupid. Yeah. Everything's got like a punny. Like you have 3 currencies in the game. You have bandanium gems, you got a gold banana nuggets, and then you have literal banana chips. Like these are the fucking currencies in this fucking game. It's ridiculous. Even the game's name is a pun. Bananza, spelled banana. But it's like, I did some stuff and I, got some bananas and I got to a different level and like I was fucking around at a level and I was punching some stuff and then I found a hole with some treasure in it and I was like, oh, cool. I was not trying to find it. I was like, oh, that's neat.
But you found it.
I needed that thing. Sweet. And it's just, I don't know. I guess games like that, I mean, if they've been working on it basically since 2018, they're probably really hard to make. So we should applaud and really laud teams like this and Nintendo allowing them the freedom to even do something like this.
Right.
Because we just don't get them that often. It's the same thing as like the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And I heard recently Nintendo was saying, they're like, hey, when can we expect the next Zelda? They're like, maybe 2028. I was like, oh, shit. Okay. Like these things take time. And it's cool stuff. I don't got much else to say. I'm basically prattling on. We can wind down the show, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I have anything else that we've missed.
Yeah, the only thing that I can say, only because I can see it, is you definitely have a Trumpian tan.
Oh yeah.
Like, you are the most orange I have ever seen you, and you're normally pretty dark, but yeah, like you got that you look like you've been on the
I've got
golf
a bronze
course.
going.
Yeah, you are bronze as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes my gray look even more gray because of it.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say anything. I was gonna say something
I see it.
vaguely mean, like, oh man, looks like Nate took his alarm bracelet off and escaped from the old folks' home again. Shit. Somebody get this man some prune juice.
I should send you the video of me on the Flow Rider boogie board. Shenanigan thing. Yeah.
Sure, go for it.
Never been on one of those before, and popped up on my knees, did no hands, and everyone was like, oh, yeah, thanks. You make us all look bad.
I mean, you'd probably make me look bad too. I cannot balance all those things worth shit.
Yeah.
I'll just be on it for 2 glorious seconds, and then I'll slip and smash my face right out of the board. That's been my experience anytime I've touched any type of water board that isn't foam. No balance. I have no balance.
Yeah. My wife has a shirt. It's the New Balance logo, but it's no balance, and instead of a runner, it's someone stumbling.
That's awesome. I need that shirt. That is great. All right. Well, that does it for another episode of the Fork in Your Podcast. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking with us when we're not around because fucking life happens. And
get forked.
Yeah, catch you on the flippity flop. Get forked.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast. You can find our podcast at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Feel free to email us at dynamicworks@mac.com.
Armado, the voice of Guybrush Threepwood, and you're listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast.
The Citadel, Arrival, is the first installment in a series of epic science fiction short stories reminiscent of the Pulp Fiction style. It's a fast-paced story that will take you through twists and turns that you will not expect, until they are thrust upon you with all the force, excitement, and chaos of a plasma cannon blast. The story follows Katarl, a nobody cog in the working wheels of a futuristic society run completely by Megacorp, a corporation that carefully runs and manages the lives of the people living under its sphere of power. On one of Katarl's few and far between days off from work, an outing he had hoped would be fun and relaxing turns into an explosive adventure that drags him kicking and screaming into situations and challenges that will make him question every aspect of his life. Watch this colorful tapestry unfurl as Katarl and his newfound allies find their way through this classic, yet oddly surprising tale of good and evil, where nothing is quite what it appears to be. That's The Citadel, Arrival, by author Tim K. Trotter, available right now on Amazon Kindle Store and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99.
July 5th?
Did we do one after the 4th? No, I don't think so.
Then June something?
We haven't done one in July. Ugh. So it goes. Let me just check one thing here.
Yeah.
I put...
Like I said last episode, life finds a way.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, well, I've got the ring. I have my JDP have my
JDPs.
Yeah, my jam delivery particle.
Oh. Uncrustable.
No, there's crest. I hear my in-laws talk about the Uncrustables. Apparently, the police force lives off of them.
Oh yeah, I consume them often.
Yeah, apparently it's a lot of people's favorite. You get a little bit of fruit, you get your little bit of starch, you get your peanut protein, and away you go. All right, well, I'm as ready as I can be. I can't see myself disappeared from the thing. I don't know.
Oh, Discord, there's a little thing that says show my camera. A little triple dot at the bottom of the Winder grid view, show my own camera.
I have it when I click on the chat, but if I click off of to, go to our topics in the Discord, you disappear.
Did you pop it out?
Oh,
Pop it out.
How do I do that? Pop it out, share your screen.
All the way to the
Party,
right.
Not that one.
All the way to the right.
Sound? No. More options. There we go. Transfer to Xbox. Show my own camera is clicked.
Okay.
Need grid view? What is grid view?
Probably.
Grid view definitely centers it, so you're not all the way. So I'm not looking through the chicanery of my mic. That's better.
Interesting. Yeah, next to the hang up button, there should be a pin, a little.
Over there. Yeah. To the right, there's the pop out. Okay.
Yes.
Popped out. Other player to window. That's what I want. Perfect. Excellent. Oh, no, not full screen. You son of a bitch.
you don't need that much of me, huh?
Not this early in the morning, no.
Don't feel bad. My wife says the same thing.
I mean, that sounds like a you guys problem.
Yes. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to go burn one, and then we are good to go.
Okay, I'll put these JDP. Yep, that was a sentence.
That was words.
Yep, kind of.
You're just bopping away over there.
Come on, quit. You. There we go. All right. Ready?
Now recording.
Okay. I've been recording for a minute. Or
Okay.
10.
Or 10.
There we go. In 3, 2,
2, 1.
Cut
Cut in.